it's broadcast personality Wesley Outland, and for the second year in a row, the Community Radio Network is excited to also be the voice of iRacing on LSRTV every Monday and Thursday night with the Northwest Racing Series for Cup and Truck. Join yours truly, Justin Prince and Samuel Dyer, every week as they race towards a championship. We're also on the radio in the Triangle in the Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina area at 87.5 WCRN and anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. Click play, check out the coverage, the power of radio to the imagination of the listener, esports style. We are the Community Radio Network, the voice of iRacing on LSR-TV. Check it out when you can, and replays are always up too.
Let me tell you about MPM. McAllister Precision Marketing. They can assist up-and-coming racers with career advancement, promotion, and assist in sponsorship procurement. MPM also has media and professional etiquette training. They work with premier driver development teams and limited late models to late models. And they also help the teams to make it up to the levels of K&N, ARCA, Truck Series, and even NASCAR Xfinity. Contact Tanya McAllister today at McAllister Precision Marketing, 803-361-6199. Today, get on the board with MPM.
CrateInsider.com is your one source for crate racing tech and more. Whether you currently race with a crate engine or you are thinking about getting into the sport, our website has what you need. CrateInsider.com has tech videos, interviews with experts, and the best products in the industry. Dyno tested and proven, so we know they are the best products for crate engines. Visit CrateInsider.com today to get on the fast track to victory lane.
This is Finish Line.
This episode is an exclusive production solely for the private, non-commercial use of our listening audience. Any publication, reproduction, transmission of the accounts without the express written consent or permission is restricted and prohibited. To hear this replay or other previous podcasts, download on iHeartRadio, iTunes Radio, and TuneIn. As always, this show is for you. Thank you for listening.
This is Finish Line. Undisputed, unrealistic, unscripted, and unrehearsed. This is Finish Line, a weekly podcast talking about the positive and negative of motorsports, asking the questions to drivers, promoters, and personalities, getting the information and responses of the sport others dare not to ask or even discuss. This is Finish Line. This radio podcast is from the heart, an in-depth analysis of everything in NASCAR, NHRA, IHRA, IndyCar, grassroots motorsports, asphalt, dirt, drag racing, karting, tractor pulling, boat racing, demolition derbies, and much more. From touring events to national, regional, weekly, and more. This is the podcast where the bull stops here. Whether it's asphalt, dirt, or drag racing, or anything else in life, there is always a finish line. Now, he's a respected veteran broadcaster with over 20-plus years experience calling all forms of sports for public address, TV, and radio. From NASCAR to the grassroots. Please welcome your host, Wesley Outland. This is Finish Line.
What's up, everybody? Good afternoon to you. Look what's behind me. Bristol dirt. Bristol dirt. It's dirt. Bristol, baby. NASCAR this weekend. Hey, by the way, happy Easter to you. Welcome to the April 13th edition of Finish Line. I am your host, Wesley Outland. You're in the hot seat for at least the next 2 hours. Somehow, some way, we tried to make a short guest panel, but somehow we just add more and more and more. And we've got a great, great guest lineup. I am your co-host, Wesley Outland. Joined in Wichita Falls, Texas, is my partner in crime, as always, Mr. Charles Wood. Charles, what's up, brother? Get your camera on. What you got going on? See, this is what goes on behind the scenes. It was, whoa, hello. What did you do there? What did you do there, Charles? Oh, my goodness. He said I broke it. But I see, you just got your little smorgasbord array of plethora of appetites is what you got. So, holy cow. Yeah, what did you do, Charles? We're going to fix this here in a moment. If you're listening on radio, on our Fox Sports Radio affiliates, and of course on iHeartRadio, the Community Radio Network, Charles has somehow finagled his way on the big part of the backdrop. There you go. Welcome in, Charles. My goodness. That's what's happened. Listen, that's what happens when you're blind and you can't see. You were blind, but now I see. You move your hair out of the way, and finally you hit the right button. So I digress. I'm playing with you. Hey, Charles, you like dirt track racing? You like NASCAR on dirt? Bristol this weekend? What do you think? So my question is this: okay, let's just be honest here. You're not an avid fan of NASCAR per se. Are you a fan of NASCAR on dirt when they're at Bristol this weekend? Would you watch it, do you think?
I watched it last year. I'm hoping it's better than last year. I hope they learned a little bit about the dirt and how to prepare it, because it was a bit of a dust ball, but that's dirt track racing too.
Yeah.
It can be dusty. So, I think it was a good thing last year. I think they've improved on it this year, hopefully. So I will definitely watch it.
And Charles, in their defense, they had to race in the daytime, and it had to be after 3 days of torrential rain out there.
Yeah, and that's
it was crazy
too. And also, you have to think that a local dirt track has drains that the water can get to. That track probably isn't set up for dirt and draining and all that.
No.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that want to get.
Well, anyhow, we welcome you to Finish Line. He is, of course, Mr. Charles Wooten. Charles, what have you got over there, buddy? I see you've got some styrofoam, but there's stuff in that styrofoam.
We have cheese quesadillas going
on. Oh, my goodness. Oh, la la.
We had
Taco
some
Tuesday
rice.
is now on Wednesday. I got you.
There's some potatoes. Let's say we got some kind of stiff.
Ole!
Lunch is delivered. I get to eat while you're on camera, but
I haven't even ate anything yet, okay? All I've had is a delicious pick-me-up to wake me up for the day, okay? You thought it was Mountain Dew.
For the ones listening, he says that Mountain Dew is his pick-me-up, wake-me-up. That's not true. I woke him up. So
No, Mountain Dew's not. I don't drink Mountain Dew. I don't drink Mountain Dew. Pepsi is.
I woke
Pepsi.
you up, not that
Cheers.
Pepsi. I don't have anything. I got some Red Bull. I guess I could get a Red Bull, but I'm not drinking.
Oh, my goodness. Stay away from those things. Well, listen, we got a great show for you. Matter of fact, our first guest is probably getting ready to jump into the panel right now. And without further ado, let's give you your guest lineup for today on the April 13th edition of Finish Line. It is coming up here in just a couple of moments. All right, so we're going to get things kicked off in just a second with our first guest, and that is going to be the winner of the Friday night portion of the Blizzard opener at Five Flags Speedway, Pinellas Park, Florida, Stephen Nasse. Haven't talked to Stephen in a while. Looking forward to talking with Nasse. He picked up the win, of course, on Friday night. Saturday night's winner was Derek Thorne. I had him lined up to be a guest on Finish Line, and unfortunately, he is on vacation. And, of course, we've had him on Finish Line several times before, the driver to Bakersfield, California. So we'll get him on another time, but congratulations to him. Nasse's coming up next at 1:25 Eastern. That is 10:25 Pacific time. Dylan Zampa, one of the newest members of the Alan Kulwicki Driver Development Program and winner this past weekend at All-American Speedway with the Spear Southwest Tour. He's joining us. Michael O'Brien, winner of the sweep of the Chargers at Wake County Speedway. He runs at Wake County. He runs at Southern National. He runs at Caraway. He runs at Goodyear. He runs all over. He is going to be joining us here at 1:40 p.m. Eastern Time. That's hour number one. Then we go to hour number two. At 2:05 Eastern, less than an hour from now, Jonathan John Boy Brown, winner of the Ricky Minner Memorial 110 at Franklin County Speedway for the Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic. He will join us to talk about his victory. Then at 2:20 Eastern Time, good friend of mine from up in Wisconsin. He does torque off-road trucks. He does modified racing, and he's got an awesome story along the way. Brad Severs, and Brad Severs is going to be joining us to talk about all of that. And finally, Charles, you got a segment.
I got
You
a
always get a
voice.
segment
I'm
anyway.
gonna let it out.
Yes, we're going to talk rants with C&W. We're going to call this C&W Rants with Charles and Wesley Rants. And it's going to be obviously about Martinsville. We're going to talk about Martinsville over the weekend, this past weekend. We're going to talk about the Xfinity fight between Sam Mayer and Ty Gibbs. Obviously, NASCAR issued penalties to them yesterday, or Ty Gibbs got penalties. And Bristol Dirt coming up behind this, man. Bristol Dirt trucks on Saturday night, Cup Series on Sunday. Happy Easter. Let's get it started. We're ready to rock and roll here on Finish Line. And look it, right out of the gate. Here he is, ready to go from Pinellas Park, Florida. He's our first guest, Stephen Nasty Racing Race Cars. He went into his own business himself with his own race car company a couple of years ago. And obviously the fruits of the labor is paying off. Joining us here to start off Finish Line is Mr. Stephen Nasty. Stephen, it's always good talking to you, man. How you been?
I've been really good. You know, the last few days have been great for me. You know, I wish I could have went 2 for 2 over the weekend, but picking up a win felt really good. You know, felt good to be back in victory lane.
Yeah, Charles, my producer, we got to fix his name on the bottom. It's not Michael Rouse. He has actually decided to go on last. So Stephen Nasty is his name. So, yes, we'll get that fixed for you real quickly, Mike. Michael was actually going to be on first, Stephen. We were going to bump you to second, but actually changed your plans the last second. So let's try this again. Stephen Nasty is on the program. And when it's live, it's live. Yes, Stephen Nasty. There it is on Finish Line, and he's ready to go. And even made sure he spelled it right, Stephen, for sure. Hey, well, what a win for you. Five Flags Speedway, let's be honest, has been a track that hasn't been too kind to you. You know, you have your good times and then you have bad, and it seems like sometimes the bad tries to overlook the good. But no matter what, Stephen, I always say this, you somehow come out smelling like a rose because you literally just get redemption on this place, and a big win for you this past Friday night.
Hold on one sec. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me here?
Yes, sir.
I think we got some technical difficulties going on.
Do we have a little bit of a delay? Maybe a delay there? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you now. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, sir. Go ahead. I tell everybody, when it's live, it's live. I think we lost him. Let's try it again.
I hear you. We're live. Oh, there we are.
Are you back? Are you back with me?
Can you hear me now?
Drive about 5 feet up the road. Wait till you get full bars and stop. So.
I guess my service isn't the best here.
It's okay. Stephen, I don't know if you heard my question, but what I was saying was that, man, you've had your share of problems at Five Flags Speedway over the years. Good luck, bad luck, but somehow it seems like you always redeem yourself and somehow end up on top, man, like a win this past Friday night. Stephen, are you there? Stephen, are you there? Hello. That is the finger of Stephen Nasty that is hitting his camera like that, right? Was it?
Okay.
Can we try this again? Stephen, are you there?
I think that's better. I'm on the road here again. Sorry about that, guys.
Okay.
But I think I got you now clear.
So when it's live, as I tell people. But let's try this for the third time, Stephen.
Yes,
What I was
sir.
saying was that Five Flags Speedway has gave you a share of good and bad luck, and sometimes you've been amongst some controversial things. Um, but it seems like you always find a way to redeem yourself and win at that track. Obviously, that place. What does it mean to you amongst the good, the bad, and the ugly that you've dealt with that over the last half a decade or so?
Yeah, man. I've been at Five Flags for a long time now. I've had good and bad happen there, but the biggest thing that I've been able to take from the racetrack is just the fan base that I've been able to produce around there. The fans are amazing, and to be able to connect with them like I have. I just feel more at home at the racetrack, even though it's 7 hours away from me. I feel very close to home. So, it's always good to go back there, and definitely always good to be in victory lane.
And again, you talk about or you kind of rehash of the things that you've gone through. And one of the things I got to say I admire about you, Stephen, is whatever happens, when it happens, it happens. I always tell people this, and the silver lining is the sun will come up tomorrow. And I know it's lyrics to a song, but it's actually the thing about life. And you've got to take the bad of the things that you've gone. Go, shut up, Charles. I knew I shouldn't have said that because he's going to segue in my ear talking, singing the song. So, but But basically, Stephen, you got to take the bad in the things that we've all deal with in our life, and you got to set it aside. You got to put that day behind you, and you got to move into a next day, into a new day, a brighter day, a bigger plan. And it seems like that's what Stephen Nasty Racing does. Every time you have something controversial happen, you dust yourself off, you pick yourself up, and you find a way to get back to victory lane. And obviously, this win out of the gate has got to give you a good boost of momentum going into the run for the Snowball Derby coming up in December.
Yeah, I would say so. Obviously, we're able to find our way back to victory lane. It may not be really as fast as we really want to, but being able to get back there is always something that's really, really feels good. We've had some changes in the team here recently, and there were some bigger changes. So, uh, you know, I'm glad that we could overcome those. We did start Stephen Nasty Racing, about 6-7 months ago, and then I had some a little split up with my crew chief, Chris Cater. And, thankfully for me, Pat Jett had an opening. They didn't have another race going on that weekend. So I guess you could say it was kind of like my first race back with Jet, but it's all my own trailer, and we used all my tools. And basically, I just needed their manpower. So to be able to go back there and get those wins with them, it was really special.
Yeah, I was going to say that, man. It had to have been a nice feeling to be able to, we always say that cliche, never forget where you come from. And you had some great credentials
Yeah.
with Jet Concrete and Jet Motorsports. And, though you have your own equipment, that cliche of never forget where you come from and always remember to keep those doors open from past relationships in business or personal, because you never
Mhm.
know if you're going to have to
Yep.
part ways or come together again, is what you guys did this past Friday night.
For sure, and a big thing that my dad has always said is you don't want to ever burn any bridges, and I'm definitely glad that we didn't do that with Pat Jett. I'm very, very fortunate that they had an opening, and I was able to fill that spot, obviously just with my own equipment, and to be able to pull off a win like that in our first try again, like, it was really special.
We're talking again with Stephen Assey, and Stephen picking up the big win for the Blizzard Southern Super Series opener. And we got a question coming in from my producer in Texas. He's not singing in my ear anymore, Stephen. Listen up for Charles. He's got a question for you here on Finish Line.
I'm be
All
honest,
right.
I was out of questions until he just pulled that drink out. So obviously, it looks like you stopped at McDonald's. So I'm eating a cheese quesadilla. Sorry, Wesley, but I'm curious. You went to McDonald's. What did you get? Double patty, single patty, Big Mac? What'd you get?
Well,
my
I'll be
God.
honest with you. That was from breakfast this morning.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm just kind of finishing my sweet tea, and I haven't gotten any lunch yet. I've been on the road, back from Pensacola, so it's only 12:19 here. I figured after we get done with this, I'm next to Popeyes right now, so probably sneak into there and then get me some chicken, and I got
You
a
get the
5-hour
spicy.
ride to
Hell
get back
yes!
home still.
Make sure you get the
Hell yeah.
spicy
Hey, bring
tenders.
me back on camera, Charles. Cheers to you. Cheers to you there,
Yes,
Steven, because I haven't ate anything either, but chicken sounds good. We love chicken, don't
yes,
we?
yes. Fried chicken sounds delicious.
Yes, sir, we certainly do. So, Stephen Nasty again joining us about 5 more minutes with him. Coming up in a few moments, we'll also have Michael O'Brien and all the guests. So, we've got, actually, correction, Dylan Zampa is up next. Dylan Zampa from California joining us, of course, picking up the win at All American Speedway. Stephen, I had Derek Thorne lined up. You've been on the center of controversial racing in years past. When it gets down to the end, in my opinion, all bets are off. But there's a certain way of racing each other, a certain way of doing. I think of 2017, I think it was, or 2016, and your run in between you and William Byron at Five Flags and the Snowball Derby that seemed like it would never happen, and it happened on a Tuesday night. I think of what happened back at the Derby between Chandler Smith and Derek Thorne, and he got pushed out of the way, and Chandler Smith won the race. Well, now we go back to 72 hours later, this past Friday night, and you've got Chandler Smith leading. Derek Thorne gets into him in the corner, whether it was intentional, whether it was racing, and they penalize him and they park him. What's your take of what happened? And do you think that we're probably going to see more aggressive driving like this, or was it not aggressive driving? Was it just trying to go out there and win the race and somebody slipped? What's your take of what happened, Stephen?
They were a little bit ahead of me. Obviously, I was kind of running my own race, but I could kind of see him out of the corner of my eye there, and you guys can hear me good, right? Because it's kind of breaking
Sure.
up a little bit for y'all. Just want to make sure. All right,
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah, no, I could see them. It looked like it wasn't intentional. It could have been much worse, in my opinion. Derek, to me, didn't really look like he just wanted to go in there and run him over and do that by any means. Now, do I think that Derek was trying to hold off from touching him at all? I probably don't think so. Derek was probably trying to get him a little bit loose so that way he can make a run on him, But I don't think
Sure.
that Derek's
Sure.
intentions were to go in there and spin him out. You know, Me and Derek had our good run there at the Snowflake a couple years ago. Uh, he had plenty of chances where he could have spun me out. I don't really see Derek as being that kind of driver. But I do, it'd be hard not to hold a little bit of a grudge coming off that Snowball Derby incident. So like I said, I think
Right.
that Derek wanted to get into him a little bit, maybe loosen him up, but wasn't expecting him to lose control of it like that. But I don't think that clearly Chandler didn't want to spin out either. So it was a racing deal, and it was unfortunate for the both of them. But then I found a little bit of luck coming my way, so I never complain.
That's exactly right. And of course, when it was all said and done, a nice $10,000 payday for the Southern Super Series Blizzard opener at Five Flags Speedway. And again, that kicks off basically the road to the Snowball Derby, the race for the Tom Dawson Trophy, and that's in December. And obviously, what is it, the 54th Snowball Derby coming up in December? I know Tim Bryant and everybody at Five Flags Speedway would not mind me at all telling you to go ahead and start ordering. I think I saw on the Inside the Groove podcast video show that they do on Monday night that tickets are already available to get ready for the Snowball Derby. That is just if you've never been there, it is just absolutely a phenomenal week's experience of racing for sure. And obviously Stephen Nasty will be there. Stephen, what's your thoughts of the tire deal? Obviously Hoosier Tire dropped a bomb last Wednesday afternoon, as a matter of fact, when we signed off on Finish Line about an hour or two later, and they're talking about rice going up, rates going up, prices going up, everything.
Yeah.
on the dirt side and pavement side, preferably pavement. Where do you see this going to take us in this level now, continuing to 2022 and beyond because of this tire crisis and shortage of parts?
Well, I think Hoosier even knows I'm not one to hold back on anything. I usually speak the truth, and whether they like it or not, I usually do. And I will give them their props. I feel like we've gotten a better product than we were getting, towards the end of last season when you had lots of those problems coming about. So I will give them that.
Sure.
Now I was really expecting a price increase. I mean, we have to expect that with everything that's going on. Um, as a racer, we just have to suck it up and pay for it. To me, what matters the most is the quality of the product, and as long as those tires are lasting all race, and we haven't really had an issue with people having tires come apart like we were there. We had so many issues for a long time. So as long as those issues stay out, I don't mind paying a little bit more for a better product.
So basically, your take is life is going up, prices are going up, reality's coming up, and because
Unfortunately,
of that,
so I just had to fill up my truck with diesel, and I didn't like to see the price too much.
and that's what I tell so many people, Stephen. The bottom line is you got a choice. You can either go get a horse and buggy and go back to the Amish days or to the Amish days, and that's no disrespect to the Amish, or you can grin it, bear it, put the gas in the tank, maybe cut things back, maybe do things a little bit less than what you normally would do on the expenses of driving. And Steven, that's another question on the segue. Do you feel like that is going to affect the fans? Do you think the promoters have to come up with these big races, these big schemes, these big promotions to get the butts in the seats, especially during these crazy economical times, to try to see people come out and see like you, Nasty, perform on the racetrack?
I do think that something's going to have to change. I wish that I had the answer on what that it should be, but something's going to have to change. I think that it was very disappointing to see the low turnout in fans at Pensacola this past weekend.
Yeah.
In the pits, there was a lot of the energy of like a snowball weekend with the caliber of cars there, but in the stands, you just didn't really get that same energy. I know it's a little bit cold, and I really thought there was going to be a lot more people in the grandstands this weekend. But I don't know if they might have to just lower prices a little bit, and just hope that the more people coming in buying more food will just offset all that. But they definitely need to think about how they're going to get more people in the stands, no doubt.
Hey, Steven, let's change subjects because obviously we could stay on this forever, and I could give you 2 hours on this show, just a one-on-one with Wesley and Steven Nassie on Finish Line, and we got to get ready for Dylan Zampa coming up, and Charles as well, Dylan, Wesley, and Charles and Steven. So, but Steven, a couple of years ago, you got your own race team, Steven Nassie Racing. What has that been like for you? What has been the highs and the lows of becoming a race car owner now?
Well, I mean, there's lots to be done as an owner. As I said in my interview, Pat Jett does a tremendous job of putting together a race team. I think that it made me kind of realize that I might not be quite 100% ready for it all on my own yet, but I have a lot of races to win. I have a lot to focus on in the seat of the race car before I'm trying to worry about who I'm bringing to the racetrack, and just putting the right people in place. Now, don't get me wrong. I think, like I said, I think we're still going to continue on. We have a new shop that we're moving into, and I would like to find a couple of good people, but it's not the easiest deal, and we're just getting back to winning races. So hopefully we can just keep it going.
So Steven Nassie's hiring? Steven Nassie Racing's hiring? Who are you looking for?
What's that one more time, Wesley?
I said, so Steven Nassie Racing's hiring. What kind of positions are you looking for, buddy?
Yeah, no, I am. I really need some good shop help. I need at least one good guy in the shop, and we've been okay with the traveling, getting traveling help. But if I could get one good guy in the shop full time that really knows what he's doing, it doesn't need to be overseen on everything. And then, also another good guy on the road full time, just for the weekends, a weekend guy. I think that would help me tremendously. So if anybody's interested, please reach out, Stephen Nasty Racing at Gmail, and we'd love to look into it a little bit.
Steven, what is your overall plans for 2022? Obviously, you come out of the gate and you won that Southern Super Series Blizzard opener at Five Flags. Oh, hey, vote Steven Nasty. He wants to run SRX at Nashville.
Yeah.
Promote that real quick, Steven.
Yes. Yeah, SRX is doing a big deal at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, and they're doing a fan vote. And thankfully, I've been blessed to have an opportunity to be in it. So if you go to the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway website or Facebook, there should be a link that you can follow and go vote for me.
Go vote for Steven Nasty, one of the greats, man, for sure. Nasty, classy nasty. That was one of the things I remember in the nickname world. Steven, where do you feel like you're at today, man? Because I will say this: it seems like definitely in the last 4 years that we've known each other, it seems like you've really matured. You've definitely matured as a person. You have your moments. Everybody does. You've had things that have kind of made you a little upset. Everybody does. But as far as you as a driver, where do you feel like you're at now? Classy or nasty?
Well, I feel very classy. I won't lie. I know some of my fans don't like it. I kind of catch crap for it a lot. But at the end of the day, I come to the racetrack to win races, and I've always been about winning races. That's always been my goal, is to go to the track and win races. And, I think a lot of the stuff that had kind of brought on the nasty stuff, it had happened in a race where I thought that I was going to win the race, where I thought that I actually had the car, and there's so much work that goes in the weekend, and to put that all together and then have it taken away from you, and whatever, it's 50 laps to go, 40, 30, 20, 10,
Sure,
it doesn't matter. When I was younger, I couldn't really take that so well. I don't know if it's been a combination of, that I guess I played it right, and now nobody just really messes with me in that way, and I just haven't been in that situation. But, I promise you, if somebody goes out there and ruins my race with only, a short amount of time to go, if Bubba would have got to me and, just laid the bumper to me and spun me out, to come when I won that race instead of me winning, I would have gotten out of the car pissed, and there probably would have been another highlight video of me, cussing him out and flicking him off. But, it's one of them deals where I feel like I've gotten respect from a lot of the drivers, and, it's just, I'm out there to race, and I'll race you clean if you race me clean. And I think a lot of people have realized that.
Yeah, for sure, man. Definitely. Well, listen, Charles, you got anything else for Steven Nasty?
No, but where can I find these highlight videos?
Where can you find the highlight videos?
Yeah.
I mean, it's on Racing America. I know that much, and I know it's on social media.
It ain't that hard, man. Just search my name on YouTube, and you'll
I went and
find
voted for him, so he's got my vote just because he likes sweet tea. So
I appreciate that. I need all the help I can get. So anybody watching, please send in your votes. We got a little bit of time left, so it's never too late. Hopefully I can get out there and, maybe rough it up with Tony Stewart or whoever they have racing that weekend. I'd love to get out there and do it.
The last time that I saw it, obviously, I seen where Bubba Pollard, by virtue of the points, is going to be in the Five Flags Speedway SRX event. But, of course, right now for the Nashville deal that you're enrolled in, Brittany Zamora in the Rackley Roofing team right now is in that number 1 position as it stands. So definitely. So, well, listen, Charles, we got Dylan Zampa on standby in California. I think he's ready to go. I believe so. No, we don't? Well, he better connect then. His time's running out, so we'll stay with Steven. Obviously, man, if we can stay with you, we'll stay with you. If not, if you want to go, you can go. Obviously, got to get some of that chicken, so I love chicken too.
I have a few minutes to kill here. I have a few minutes to kill. I don't mind, guys. We can sit here and chit-chat, or it's up to you.
Speaking of chicken, Charles Wooten's got another question for you here on Finish Line now, Steven.
I don't know if he's calling me a chicken there, but anyway, we had this discussion yesterday, so I want to throw it to you. If you drink energy drinks, what's your go-to? We have a group chat with our production and staff and stuff, and We've had Monster. I personally go for Red Bull. If you drink them, what's your go-to energy drink?
I'm with you on Red Bull. I like Red Bull.
See, he's got another
I
vote
like
now.
the blueberry Red Bull. The blueberry's really good. I also like the Bang energy drinks. Some of the Bangs are really good. You can only, have one of them for sure. I mean, that's really with all energy drinks, but the Bangs are really sweet. But a Monster to me, or I'm sorry, a Red Bull to me is a nice, consistent, just good energy drink.
I'm going to message Tony on Facebook and tell him to put you in this race regardless. You win.
But
I'm with it.
Steven,
I think it'd be a
but
good show.
But Steven, it's please drink responsibly though, right? You can't drink like a whole bunch of Red Bulls and have yourself end up in the hospital. You can't do that.
No, most definitely. I'm not
See,
really
you
an
got to
energy
tell
drink
him. You
guy.
got to tell Charles that.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's throwing
I
me
think
under
he's
the
on his
bus.
say,
sixth
honestly,
energy drink today.
I
The
drank
only
4
the
Red
only
Bulls
time I
yesterday.
drink Red Bull is when I'm mixing it with vodka if I'm out on the town. So
There you go. Yes.
that's the only time. That's when Red Bull's
And I
good.
don't drink a lot. And I don't drink a
No.
lot.
Hey,
I'm
well,
a fan. Hang on. I'm a fan of White Russians. Ask Stan Lester at Fast Track. He'll tell you. I'm a fan of White Russians, and I'm a fan of vodka Red Bull. Okay, that's
Yep.
it. And when I do drink, so there you
Right.
go. See me, Charles. There you go, man. And by the way, if you are 21, please drink responsibly here on Finish Line. We don't want you staggering
Please.
across the finish line.
No.
We want you to be, definitely sober and straight for sure.
Yeah.
So, oh man, was that a good segue, Charles, or what? I found some way of trying to fit that in there. So,
See, well, he's
definitely.
throwing me under the bus under the same time because I drank 4 Red Bulls last night and didn't go to bed till 7:30 this morning because I was wide awake.
My.
Smokes.
Well,
maybe
listen.
you might need to cut back on the Red Bull just a little bit. Maybe just a little bit.
Well, listen, Stephen, man, obviously we'll finish. We'll have a few more minutes with you. I just texted Dylan Zampa. Maybe he got sidetracked or whatnot. Obviously, it's 1:35 Eastern time here. It is 10:35 a.m. Central over there or Pacific. Correction,
Yeah.
Pacific in California. So, and what you say? It's 12:30 where you're at in Pensacola time. So definitely.
That's right.
Stephen, what's the plan? Are you just going to run the Southern Super Series and, of course, the big crown jewel races? What other big races are we going to see you at this year? You're going to try to make Oxford? You're going to try to make Winchester? You're going to try to make, obviously, the Slinger Nationals or the All-American leading up to the Snowball Derby?
Yeah, all the usual races, Winchester. We're going to try to make it out to Slinger. We're trying to secure some sponsors right now to get out there. Oxford would be another one that I really want to hit. Just something, again, that I'm probably going to need to get a couple sponsors to get on board to get all the way over there.
Sure.
Southern Super Series is the series that I'm committed to. It's the one that, I'm going to run all season with. I don't know about every single race, obviously. You guys know how I like to pick and choose and go run my other whatever the race may be. Just I do like to travel around a little bit, and sometimes they fall on the same.
Hey,
Sorry
Stephen,
about that.
speaking of Jet Concrete, we got our background Dirt Bristol behind us. Jet Concrete Racing Team is known to race on dirt. Are we going to see Stephen Nasty make some dirt races this year, my friend?
Man, I'll tell you, I actually they just called me last night about racing. There's a Friday, Saturday race going on at I don't remember what the track he said, Golden Isles maybe or something. But
Brunswick, Georgia.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm not gonna be able to do it this weekend. I've been away. I need to get working on my airboat. I have some serious bass fishing to get caught back at the lake house. But I told him for sure I appreciate the offer and keep me in mind. And if I hadn't been so busy and I still haven't been home from Pensacola yet. So, get back at home, get my airboat put together, get out, do some fishing, and then, get back to racing.
Hey, man, how on the personal side, how's the girlfriend? How's the niece? How's your niece doing? Man, that's one of the touching moments I'll never forget was being in the MAV TV broadcast booth at Bristol when you won that wild race a couple of years ago, the short track U.S. Nationals, and literally you stopped your car and you acknowledged your niece and your sister right there just outside of turn number 1, which was actually turn number 3, because if you've ever watched Bristol and the way they do the short track nationals, the back straightaway is actually the front straightaway for the race, and the front stretch is the back stretch. But you actually stopped your car down in turn 3, which is actually turn 1 for the event, and acknowledged your niece, man. And I know it looks like she melts your heart for sure.
Yeah, I have 2 nephews and a niece, and every single one of them I'm extremely close with. I'm extremely close with everybody in my family. From my 2 sisters, my mom, and my dad. We're all very close, and obviously my sister's husband and their kids. So I'm extremely blessed to have a close-knit family like I have, and to be able to spend some of these wins with them is very nice. I wish I could have been there at Pensacola, but they have lives going on too, and lacrosse with the boys, and Mabry's obviously got her own thing kind of going on, growing up every day. So they're super busy, and it was definitely unfortunate they couldn't be there, but
Right.
every time they are, it's very sweet.
Well, listen, Steven, we're going to let you go, man. I don't want to hold you up any further. Safe travels going back down to Pinellas Park, Florida. Hopefully we'll run into each other sometime along the road in this crazy racing world we call life that we all enjoy. And congratulations to you. Carry all that momentum. I think there's, 3 rounds left to go in the Blizzard Series, running forward to championship. Yep. And go vote. Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Please. Click on the link and vote for Stephen Nasse or whoever it is. I'll plug him and Bubba Pollard, but Bubba Pollard already got a 5 Flags ride. Brittany Zamora. There are so many drivers that are in the running. Take your pick, but obviously I do endorse Mr. Stephen Nasse here on Finish Line. Thanks for being on, Stephen. Before I let you go, man, thank your sponsors, buddy. Thanks for being on today.
Yeah, obviously Brembo Brakes has been a huge help to me. Strange Oval Axles, Deep South Cranes, Spieler and Associates, and All American Concrete, Swift Springs. There's many more that I'm probably forgetting, but that's what I got for now. HD Graphics for sure, always hooking me up with a clean looking wrap. Couldn't be out at the racetrack looking good without them guys. So appreciate it for everybody, and then getting back to victory lane here soon.
Thank you very much, man. Steven, appreciate you taking the time for being on Finish Line. Safe travels wherever you're heading, wherever you're going. We'll see you at the racetrack sometime soon, and congratulations to you.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. I'll talk to y'all again soon.
Get some of that chicken. There you go. You disconnected, Charles. That's too quickly. There was Stephen Nasse here on Finish Line. So Dylan Zampa, the young driver, we had him lined up for where are you at, buddy? You're running late here. I'm very angry. What is this? People, this is what he does to me behind the scenes. Do you see this shenanigans? This is what my co-host Charles, what is this that you're drinking right now?
That is watermelon, actually.
Red Bull watermelon flavored.
Yes.
When do they start coming up with these kind of drinks? I thought it was just plain old Red Bull.
Oh, these are the good kind. And so long story while we wait on our next guest to possibly show up, maybe.
And if not, we just go to the next one.
Yeah, I don't get these from the store. I order these from a donut shop. Yes.
What?
Yeah, so yesterday I stock up.
What do you get, like a damn 24-pack and get a thing of energy drinks to boot?
Yeah, so I did. I got some donuts and about $100 worth of Red Bull from the donut shop. They're the only place that carries
$100 worth of Red Bull.
Well, you got to remember, there's like almost $3 a can at the donut shop. So I stock up. Yesterday I drank quite a bit. I stock up on them, and I'll put them in my mini fridge for about a month. And I'll drink one a day, and yesterday I drink 4.
Charles, I'm having a bad hair day, man. I feel like my hair is just kind of like doing this alfalfa thing where it's just sticking up in the back, man. You got to
We
help
got
me.
time if you want to go like get one piece of hair, a little wad of it, and
No, put me on
gel
full screen real quickly so I can kind of make an adjustment here. There you go, so I
Okay,
can
we'll
see
put you on
all
full
of my
screen. There you
head.
go. Hair
No, look,
adjustment.
you see. All right, put me back. Get your ass back on camera, okay? Until we get our next guest on here. We're gonna awaiting to. Are you still eating Mexican food, by the way?
No, Mexican food's done actually.
Okay, come back on camera. Come on, Charles. Come back
I
and
gotta find my camera.
get everybody back on camera again.
Okay,
So
we're
make
back
sure you
on
just don't.
camera.
There, I'm proud of you. You didn't put yourself on the big one this time either. So you said.
Yeah, let's see here. We'll just show you live. Yeah, this is a Red Bull, a watermelon flavored. Not an endorsement.
How dare you promote them? They don't give us money for Finish Line.
Pepsi doesn't
they
either.
need to.
You drink
Red
them
Bull,
on air.
I know that's true. Yes, but I love Pepsi. I'm sorry.
Hey,
You drink your Red Bull, I'll drink my Pepsi, okay? Taste born in the Carolinas.
this is the taste born somewhere that I don't know where.
Coming up in a few moments, Goldsboro, North Carolina, just about 35 miles down the road. Michael O'Brien will be joining us on Finish Line. 35 miles from my location. Hell, it's probably 2,000 miles for where Charles is in Texas at the production studio. So big thanks always to Rocket Media and Live Sim LSR Promotions, Productions, Jeff Stabnow for making this happen, Finish Line. And we welcome you. Hit that like button, hit that share button. We're on live, too. We're on Facebook. We're on Facebook as well. Hey, thanks to Trent Liz for giving us a like and a follow, and so many other people as well. As we've just literally Michael O'Brien says it's a black screen. Why is it a black screen? What's going on? Why is it a black screen, Charles? Can we help him? What's going on? A black screen.
I'm not sure. We've had blue screens before. We've never had a black screen.
We've had a blue screen, but not a black screen. Do you have vMix 3 open? That's the link he's supposed to be in right now, vMix 3.
It is open, but I don't see any connection to it.
Okay, so if you're watching Finish Line, Michael, we'll tell you real quickly, the vMix link that I sent you privately, you click on that, make sure that obviously you have your camera on, have your camera active if you're using your desktop or your laptop, cell phone. I would think on Android or iPhone it would connect. And then, of course, just put in where it says username, put in Michael O'Brien. Do not change the password. Yeah, I wonder if that's what he did.
I do see
I wonder if
it
he changed
says
the password.
in, but don't see the feed.
Okay, so something's happening behind the scenes, if you will. So if you're hearing me, Michael, that's kind of the best way of trying to get you in here on the program. So again, do not change the password. That's a big thing, Charles. Because if you change the password, doesn't it like disconnect you from the server link or something? Because
it won't even let you connect.
It won't go through.
He's not changing it because it is saying he's connected. For some reason, we are not getting his camera.
Well, let's just bring him in and see if we can pick him up on audio, maybe. See if we can get him on audio.
From him either.
We're not getting any audio from him either. Okay. Oh, my goodness. If anything, I might have to do an audible and call him via cell phone. I don't want to do that because I don't have the proper setup done today. The last time I actually knew we were going to have to call Bubba Pollard live on the air, so I had the phone link set up, but today I don't. Everything's being done through the board and through our social handles. So, Michael, I guess I could just say keep on trying, brother. I guess we'll try it. So, but I guess any luck?
No, we don't get any luck. I was gonna see if you could try sending him link 2. Maybe it'll.
Let me try to send him link 2, maybe.
Yeah,
let's try that.
Have Dylan here. Maybe he'll be able to connect link 2.
There you go. Let's try to connect you to link 2. Try this one, Michael. We're literally communicating it on the air at the same time.
Hey, you say it when you're live. You're live.
When you're live, you're live. You're exactly right. So, yeah, definitely. Hey, I hope everybody has a nice Easter holiday. Of course, happy Easter to you. Jesus is the reason for the season. I actually literally last night while I was uploading baseball broadcasts and working on voiceovers for race promos before I fell asleep, cut on the Bible. And I don't know if you remember the Bible, but it was like a 10-part series from the History Channel. And it's about it was all video documentaries about Jesus and the stories and everything from of course Abraham to the sacrifice with his son. And okay, so this is what he just sent me, Charles. I don't understand it. If this is what he's saying, this is what he's getting.
Is he on a computer or his phone?
I can't tell. Hey, listen, we're going to go to a commercial break. Thank our sponsors. We'll try to hopefully get back with Michael O'Brien. If not, we go to the next guest coming up at 2:05, which is, of course, Jonathan Brown. And he knows how to get on finish line. He's been a former guest before, and he won at Franklin County. We'll be right back with more in just a moment.
Hey, it's broadcast personality Wesley Outland, and for the second year in a row, the Community Radio Network is excited to also be the voice of iRacing on LSRTV every Monday and Thursday night with the Northwest Racing Series for Cup and Truck. Join yours truly, Justin Prince and Samuel Dyer, every week as they race towards a championship. We're also on the radio in the Triangle, in the Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina area at 87.5 WCRN and anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. Click play. Check out the coverage, the power of radio to the imagination of the listener, esports style. We are the Community Radio Network, the voice of iRacing on LSR-TV. Check it out when you can, and replays are always up too.
Let me tell you about MPM. McAllister Precision Marketing. They can assist up-and-coming racers with career advancement, promotion, and assist in sponsorship procurement. MPM also has media and professional etiquette training. They work with premier driver development teams and limited late models to late models. And they also help the teams to make it up to the levels of K&N, ARCA, Truck Series, and even NASCAR Xfinity. Contact Tanya McAllister today at McAllister Precision Marketing, 803-361-6199. Today, get on the board with MPM.
CrateInsider.com is your one source for crate racing tech and more. Whether you currently race with a crate engine or you are thinking about getting into the sport, our website has what you need. CrateInsider.com has tech videos, interviews with experts, and the best products in the industry. Dyno tested and proven, so we know they are the best products for crate engines. Visit CrateInsider.com today to get on the fast track to victory lane.
This is Finish Line.
Welcome back to Finish Line. We are trying behind the scene. See, I got this whole alfalfa thing going on with my hair, Charles. I'm just so beside myself right now. I don't understand. I just got my hair cut 2 weeks ago. I hate my barber. Let's see here. Let's try this again. Welcome back to Finish Line. I am your host, Wesley Outland. We are trying to connect to Michael O'Brien. I think we've got some activity. We've got some activity going on here. So let's try to get him on. He's already running a little behind. I think he's ready. I think he's here. Are we ready?
I think so.
Somebody, it is Michael O'Brien, ladies and gentlemen. He got in somehow, some way. We got it done. Michael, good afternoon. Welcome to Finish Line. First time guest in the hot seat. Good evening to you.
Good evening.
Hey, listen, it's always great chatting with you, man. Of course, you're coming off of a sweep in the Charger feature at Wake County Speedway this past Friday night, man. I'll tell you what, before we even talk about your racing career in general, how about that place, Michael? It seems like it's been booming recently. I know you weren't there with the Charger class a couple of weeks ago when the season started, but I'm sure you heard great things. But, man, what a great things that Charlie Hansen and William Brown and everybody there is doing at that track.
Yes, sir. Mr. Charlie's got it going on out there. We were there at the race, the first race, and I had never seen it packed like that. But we've been going there for a couple years now and watching, and now that Charlie's brought the Chargers out there, we enjoy going and running every chance we get. And we might not put on quite a show like the late models, but we're trying to.
Oh, I listen. I don't say that. Them late models put on a great show, but the Chargers are also very fun to watch as well. And listen, either you've got my GPS and my tracking schedule itinerary, or I've got yours. But it seems like somehow, somewhere, wherever I'm at, you're there as well. Whether it's Goodyear, whether it's Southern National, whether it's Wake County, Caraway, you name it, you're there. You're a traveling man, not a Goldsboro, Michael.
Man, we try to go wherever they have a race. We've enjoyed going down to Goodyear and Caraway and Raleigh, and I actually think we're going to Carteret in a couple weeks. But yeah, we try to race wherever there's a race, wherever they're having Chargers, and we try to support that division as much as we can, whether it's 30 minutes from the house or 2.5 hours from the house. But yeah, we all the guys that help out on the car, and they all go with us. They hang with us every race, and we enjoy the race.
And by the way, let me also say, Dillon Motor Speedway, Florence Motor Speedway, you've gone there as well. Of course, we're talking with Michael O'Brien here. So there you go. He's got Red Bull. Charles, my producer's got watermelon Red Bull. Ugh. I throw up in my mouth thinking about that watermelon. I hate watermelon anyway. Pepsi for me. Michael O'Brien is wearing his. He's got his bottled water for sure. And what does that hat say? Honey hole outdoors. Honey hole.
It's me and my girlfriend were shopping. I saw it and I liked it, so we got it. It looked cool.
I got you. Well, Charles, our producer in Texas, has got a question for you for Goldsboro, North Carolina's Michael O'Brien on Finish Line. Listen up.
This isn't really as much as a question as it is just a statement. The cool people always have nice beards. He's got a nice beard, Wesley. You need to grow one too.
I don't keep it up like I should.
Whoa!
I appreciate it.
Wait, bring me back on camera here. Michael, as long as you've known me, I've always been clean shaven. Do you not like the hair thing I got going on now? You don't like it?
I mean, I like
it's different, isn't it?
Yeah, it's different.
I tell you what's really driving me crazy is this damn alfalfa look I got on the back of my head with the camera and the headset on, man. That's what's really that's what's really ticking me off right now. I think it's this new headset that I'm using. Oh my goodness. So I digress, but yeah. So listen, I'm a firm fan of No Shave November, Michael. And then somebody said, well, why don't you just keep it? And it got to the point where it got to looking like, okay, it didn't look like yours. Okay, that's a lie. And it didn't look like Monkey, Charles. But like literally, it just got to itching so bad. And I couldn't stand it. You're laying in bed at night and your damn head's itching in your pillow. I couldn't take it no more. I said, all right, I'm going to trim it up a little bit. I'm going to keep some. So for sure. But here's I think here's something though, Michael, that you deal with that I deal with as well. But it looks like you've got gray like all around your beard. How the hell do I get rid of this one gray in this one little spot? I can't stand it.
Yeah, I ain't figured if I could figure it out, I'd get rid of my gray. But
oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's
oh well, I don't want to go off subject. Blame it on my producer, Charles, in the background to try to get this damn interview off the rails and take it off on another direction for sure. So, hey, Michael, and by the way, I think I mentioned Florence and Dillon. What the hell? Oh, you son of a... oh, wow. Oh, do you see, Michael, what I have to deal with on the air? Do you see these?
It looks fun.
Wow. It is. It's fun what we get to do. Michael, so this is your first time on Finish Line, man. First off, thanks for being on. Secondly, talk about your racing career, how you got started and what you're doing. And obviously, man, you're doing really, really good. This past weekend at Wake County Speedway, you won the Zaxby's Charger feature. And then there was a tire bonus from Rockside Tire put up. You pocketed $1,000 in one night. That's a pretty good payday for Charger racing. And I was telling somebody that.
Yes, sir, it is. It's like I said earlier, Charlie and them, they do a lot for us, for the racers, and they don't try to run the racetrack off the racers' money. They that's one of the cheapest places to actually go race, and the purse is really good. They treat you good, and we we're really looking forward to going back in a couple weeks.
Yeah, twin late model. Actually, we're off for the next couple of weeks. I think the next race is not back until April the 29th. So they've got a nice 3-week break off, taking off for Easter's, taking off for other things going on. You got graduations going on, high schools going on with ceremonies. And then, of course, they come back with another event with twin late models, twin Chargers. Michael, am I going to see you at Caraway this weekend, bud? Is that where you're going to be at with the Challengers?
We're not going to take the car, but I think we are going to go out there and watch. Yeah, we've been going for about 5 or 6 weekends straight, and we actually went down there to help out Mr. Anthony Bennett with the Caraway's got that loyalty program, so we went out there to try to help him out, try to keep him up in the points and stuff, and we're actually going to take this weekend off, and still going to go to the racetrack, but just not going to have a car. It's in 2.5 hours. It's fun, but it's very tiring. All my guys, they don't. My girlfriend, she's from up there, so we can kind of stay the night. And all my guys, they're not getting home till 3:30 in the morning, so it's kind of taking a toll on them a little bit.
Yeah, I understand that. And again, you're all the way in Goldsboro, and hell, Caraway's 130 miles from my house. So you knock on another 40 miles, because you're probably 40 miles from me to Goldsboro from where I live in Clayton. So you're looking at about 170 miles round trip just there, or one way, as a matter of fact. So you're looking at 300 plus miles to head down there from Goldsboro, man. But well, listen, it's awesome having you here. We got about another 5 minutes left to go. We got Jonathan John Boy Brown coming up next on Modified Winner at Franklin County for the Smart Modified Tour coming up on Finish Line. I asked this question to Stephen Nassy. And I asked this question to you as well, because, me and Charlie Hansen kind of talked a little bit about what the Charger Challengers are, because Chargers, Challengers, kind of the same. They just whatever name you decide to use. And I say this in all honesty, Michael, if you can back it up and help me here, if I'm saying something wrong, please. But it's pretty much the carburetor and the shock package that is different between a Charger Challenger to a late model stock. Basically, that's all it is, and it's pretty much an affordable way of doing the races there.
Yes, sir. There really ain't much difference at all. Like you said, a lot of it's just carburetors and shocks, little bit of weight, and then when it boils down to it, just the money. We can, we go race for about $400 to $500, where run late model stock, you're gonna at least, true late model, you're gonna at least double that. And we're on a cheaper shock for the most part. Carburetor's a little bit smaller, but between Challengers and limited late model, there ain't hardly much difference at all. Just a little bit of weight, and that's about all for that.
Do you see yourself, Michael, moving into a late model class in the future?
We've talked. Me and Tracy, Tracy Muse, the guy that owns the car. We've talked about it here and there. We stepped up at the Thanksgiving Classic this past year and run limited, and actually run a lot better than we thought we were. We finished second, and then that one limited race at Goodyear this year, wound up finishing third. So it's in the works between him and everybody that helps on the car. Ronnie, Kenneth, Mike Evers, my buddy Damon, Randall Parrish with Short Track Engineering, John Jones. People like that. I'm not afraid to move up car wise, but I think I've been running Charger for a while now, and you wouldn't think so, but it's a pretty big step going from Charger to limited. So we're going to try to make some baby steps, and gain what little bit we can, and hopefully next year try to move up, start running some limited races.
I tell you what, you already talk about, and we just talked about with the cost of trying to make it be less expensive for like a real late model stock or a super late model, like with Stephen Nassy, who was on earlier chatting on Finish Line. Obviously, that's already an affordable class. But then we're dealing with high gas prices on a personal and a business level of things. Hoosier just posted something last week that has upped their tire prices for dirt and pavement surmountable than what I'll be honest with you. I was expecting some increase. I wasn't expecting what the number was that they made. And, are you on the side of Stephen Nassy where you understand where they're coming from because of everything in flux today? Or is it like, holy cow, man, now I feel like you guys are taking advantage of us in the racing industry? Where do you sit on the fence, Michael?
I really hadn't looked into it that much. Our scuff with the Chargers and running scuffs, I'm sure eventually it'll start costing us a little bit more, but I don't think they're gouging us. It probably does take a little bit more to just. It's really hard to say. I try to stay out of stuff like that.
Right.
It hadn't really started affecting the Chargers yet, so I hadn't really looked into it, to be honest with you. I don't think they're really trying to gouge us, but some people's gonna have one opinion, and other people's gonna have a different opinion.
So here's my take on it, Michael, and you can come back with your – and Charles, if you want to chime in here as well as you can, because we do dirt and pavement. I don't think per se that they're trying to take advantage of us. I just think that they're trying to do what they've got to do to get by.
Right.
And I think the reason why they're doing what they're doing to try to do to get by is because they dropped the ball when COVID hit. And the thing is, what I'm saying is that you might have had inventory, but you didn't have an emergency inventory. Nobody was expecting, and it's nobody's fault. Nobody was expecting the world to shut down. Nobody was expecting the country and U.S. and everything to stop and halt the way that it was. And I think in doing so, Michael, a lot of people don't realize this, but motorsports was probably one of the first. Actually, it was the first. NASCAR was the first sport that got back going again at Darlington when everyone else was still on shutdown, lockdown. So I think, honestly, what happened was that they were prepared, but they just didn't have the product. And then when the products that they had in inventory was all used up because people couldn't go to work, people couldn't come in, that all got used up. Obviously, you're going to take care of your big premier partners first, like NASCAR, like Cars, like World of Outlaws, like Lucas Oil. You're talking on the dirt and pavement side of things. Regional Tour Series comes next. And sadly, weekly tracks, you get the scraps.
That's right.
I hate to say that, but it's honestly what I've seen at every racetrack I've been to this year and last year and the year before. I mean, I don't think it's anybody to blame, Michael, but it's like, okay, now your guys are trying to get yourselves out of a hole, but now in doing so, the drivers and the promoters are going to suffer from it.
Yeah, and I agree.
Charles, you want anything you want to chime in on that, my friend? You're in Texas. What's things out there in the Lone Star world on the tire situation?
I've actually done a lot of research into it. Seeing how my stepdad hauls cars, and there's a car shortage too. And yeah, they really did drop the ball. Of course, no one expected the whole planet to basically shut down. But there is a rubber shortage. That's part of it. And obviously, wherever Hoosier gets their rubber from, they're
right.
Didn't have a stockpile of it ready to go. And you let everyone say, hey, we're shutting down. And then it's really just the perfect storm is what it is. And what I've read and what I've looked up on it, it's supposed to possibly get better somewhere early 2023. So is what they're calling for. They should be back up in stock. So, well, I guess we'll kind of wait and see. My question, and I've seen this with electricity prices and stuff like that, is once they get that stock back up, is that price going to go back down, or are they going to get used to that higher price and want to make that profit and keep that price high?
Right. Yeah. Good question. Good statement there. Go ahead, Michael.
I've been wondering that if, once everything comes back and there is no more shortages, and they're gonna stick us with the price we got now, or they're gonna start, like Mr. Charles says, they're gonna come back down.
Right. Yeah, I have to say, man, I have to agree with you on that because, in my opinion, you jumped up prices and inflation because of the way things are in the world today. If things start to come back and decline, you should come down on your prices as well. I'll just say this off the record, and Charles has been eating food. He's had a Mexican fiesta in front of the production studio all afternoon. I ain't had a damn bite to eat yet. I think I'm about to gnaw the dog's leg off or something. It's going to get some chicken, as Stephen Nasty said. But I'll just say this. For instance, when it comes to food, there ain't no damn dollar menu out there no more. Okay,
No,
you used to be able to go to McDonald's. You used to be able to go to Burger King. You used to be able to get the dollar menu. You used to be able to get you a hamburger, a hot dog, whatever. Max, hey, buddy, come up here. You want to be on television? Look at this. Hi, buddy. Yeah. Hey, buddy. You're live on the air, okay? You want to say hi to Michael? Is it? Oh, thank you. And I have packages as well. Thank you. Appreciate it. Don't cut me in the dark now. Don't cut me and put me in the dark. Thank you. Last time I had somebody come in the office and they literally dropped off. They cut the lights up. Cut the light out real quick, but cut it back on. Hey, see. All right, thank you. I had packages. That's good things. So, and by the way, Charles, it wasn't the United States Postal Service that dropped it off either. It was FedEx. So. Hey, but you saw my pet, though. Are you a dog person, Michael? You got your animals, buddy? Obviously, you got that hunter's beard going on, so I'm thinking,
We've got a dog at the house named Levi. He's about probably 10 years old now, so he's getting a little bit of gray on his little beard, too. So, but yeah, I love me some dogs.
Well, listen, Michael, and this is what I was going to go back on before I was interrupted here with the dogs. Who let the dogs in? Not who let the dogs out. Who let the dogs in, okay, on a live show. No, it's all good. I love Max with all my heart. But four awesome four-legged friends are just as much as love as your loved ones on two legs. You got to love your pets, so for sure. But what I was saying, though, Charles and Michael, in closing, and we'll let you thank your sponsors as well, you can't go get a dollar menu anymore. You can't get a double cheeseburger. You can't go get a McChicken sandwich. Man, I used to drive down the road and go get me 4 McChickens and a big sweet tea at McDonald's, and I'd spend $5 and be happy, go lucky, drive, go do what I got to go do, and just be content. Now you're paying. And they can do your 2 for $5, or they can do your 4 for $5, or whatever the hell they want to. And they give you small portions of everything. But the bottom line is that's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Those days are gone. I mean, normally the average, hell, when I pay for me and my family, if I pay for dinner for them to eat, now, Michael, you're paying, even at fast food, $35 to $40. You're paying $15, $20 even if you're eating by yourself. And I know that sounds crazy, but that's what it is. Seriously.
Yeah, for sure.
So, man. Well, listen, Michael, I think our next guest is in the box, but I'm sorry we got sidetracked. But before I do let you go, man, I want you to thank your sponsors. Let everybody know where you're going to be at racing soon. And, of course, congratulations to you on your big win at Wake County Speedway, America's favorite bull ring, every Friday night. Check out the racing, and we appreciate you being on Finish Line today.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. And I think our next race is probably going to be at Carteret, the April 30th, I think.
Okay.
I just want to thank everybody, that, from the sponsors to the crew, Modern Housing here in Goldsboro, North Carolina, Getsco, Vanderford Automotive, Edwards Racing Engines, Downs Auto Parts, H&H Body Shop, Graphics Unlimited from Goldsboro, Short Track Engineering, Randall Parish, Tracy and Sandy Muse, car owners, Ronnie, Kenneth, Mike Edwards, my girlfriend, my parents, just everybody that, lends a hand, whether it's, bring snacks to the racetrack or, just crew help on the car, just absolutely everybody, man. If it weren't for them, it takes everything to make it work. If you're missing one piece,
That's
you're
right.
going to be lacking somewhere.
That's exactly right. I mean, there's no I in team. It takes everybody to work together. And, of course, you've got a great group there. Follow that green and black and red number 61 machine at a racetrack near you in the Carolinas and wherever else he decides to run at. Of course, that is the driver out of Goldsboro, North Carolina, Michael O'Brien, winner of the Zaxby's Charger feature. Got him $1,000 at Wake County Speedway this past Friday night. Thank you for being on Finish Line, Michael. Good luck to you, and we'll see you again at the racetrack soon.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me.
All right, there you go. There's Mr. Michael O'Brien getting back to work, and we'll go from one Michael O'Brien to now Jonathan John Boy Brown in his car in the cockpit, somewhere he knows very, very well, winning. And it's first time ever. Now, we've had Jonathan Brown on Finish Line before, but you've only heard him. You've only heard him on the phone. Now we've got video programs as well. And we have Jonathan John Boy Brown joining us from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. The Madhouse gets cranked up at the Hayes Jewelers 200 next Friday and Saturday. You can watch all that coverage now on Flow Racing. Jonathan, welcome to Finish Line. What a big win for you at Franklin County Speedway with the Smart Modified Tour. Very lengthy race. I know, some people kind of are on the fence about it with the way things turned out the way it did. But honestly, daytime racing is a different animal. But Franklin County is just meant for modifieds. And congrats on your win. First win this year.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was a lengthy race. It was 11 extra laps for us, but it seemed like 100 extra laps for us, that's for sure. But, just talk about Franklin County Speedway for a second. That was only my second time being at the track. And so that place was built back in the 60s. I'm not sure when, but sometime in the 60s. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Pretty
Go ahead.
Pretty sure it's still the same pavement, the original pavement. Lots of character, patch paint, pools, and all kinds of cool stuff. So it's pretty.
Now, you mentioned the racetrack, Jonathan, and you mentioned that it actually has been there since its inception, the pavement has. And it's 2022, my friend. What does that do to the tires? How do you conserve your tires to try to be there at the end? That's another thing. Normally, the Smart Modified Tour runs a 99-lap race. You had to run 110 laps in the Mineral Memorial Classic this weekend. Jonathan, you back with me, buddy? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, so if you want to bring me back, Charles, that's fine. What I was going to say, my friend, is we're having some connection issues, obviously, for Jonathan, maybe location-wise. Jonathan, you mentioned the track surface is what I was saying. You mentioned the track surface. That track has been around since the early 60s, and the track has not been repaved. It's 2022. What does that do to the tires on these modified cars? And plus, you had to run 110 laps instead of 99. Was that extra 20 laps really a difference, or 10 laps really a difference?
It was a little difference. The biggest thing with something like Franklin County is you're not doing a lot of riding around. A lot of these tracks we go to, Florence and Southern National, even Caraway, the green drops and everybody runs a half a lap and then just settles into tire conservation mode. We'll drop off 3/4 of a second, sometimes a second or more off the pace from what we normally race at, just to save the rear tires. And we didn't see that Sunday. Everybody pretty much run really hard the whole race. I know they did because I had to run pretty hard to keep them behind me. And like you said, the place is pretty beat up. The tires, we come down I think we got tires around lap 70 or around lap 70. I can't remember exactly when, but I had them look at my left rear. We was talking about swapping left sides, and they said, well, it doesn't look real bad, so let's just go with it. So we put a right rear on only, and ultimately it worked out. But so when we finished up there, I'm going somewhere with this. So when we finished up there,
It's fine. Go ahead.
both rear tires had no holes left in them. And,
Wow.
you know, granted, we had to run pretty hard, but at the same time, at lap 70, the left rear, they said it still looked pretty good. But by lap 110, there was nothing left, but it's just because I had to run it harder. There's a lot of people commented about how great my car was, how good it was on Sunday, and it was. We've really fine-tuned the car and got it more for how I like to drive the thing. And so the car was good, but the thing about Franklin County, I guess where I'm going with my story is, it's one of those tracks, if you just get up on the wheel, you don't necessarily have to have the best car.
Sure.
That place is really fast. You can send it off in the corner, and the banking's going to catch you. You know, it's mainly about keeping your momentum up there and just picking what line works for you and your car. But yeah, I had no tire left at the end, and I talked to some drivers that talked like they had pushed their right front tire off. So the place is pretty full of character, I'll say that. But just a great racetrack. I describe it as kind of a hole in the ground, but it's a really awesome racetrack. Promotes a lot of good side-by-side racing.
It is. You know, I tell jokingly, Langley, Austin, this all the time, because I did a race up there back in March with the Carolina Pro Late Model Series, and Mason Maggio won that event. And hell, Jonathan, I think there's 5 or 6 different ways you can get into the racetrack at Franklin County Speedway. You can come in from 40, you can come in from 220, you can come in from 81, you can come in from up near Martinsville, you can come in from the back way from Roanoke through Rocky Mount, and just avoid the one where you end up driving through the curvy mountains. And I'm talking about in the deep, deep part of the Carolina Mountains into Virginia. That happened to me the first time I was ever there. I looked at Langley, I was like, dude, you owe me an extra $25 just for the stress of worrying if I'm going to fall off the damn mountain going around this curve. So for sure. But once you get to the racetrack, it is a beautiful facility. Charles, you're laughing in the background, but I'm telling the truth, man. I mean, it reminds me of the equivalent of going to Tri-County Racetrack in Brasstown, North Carolina. You got to go through the Humpty Backwoods Hills Have Eyes, BFE Mountains Country to get there too. But of course, it's in Tyler County Speedway, another one. Do what? No, I don't drink moonshine. You and your drinking. Charles, do you have a drinking problem? Is that? Oh my goodness. So Jonathan, hey, listen. So let me get on subject here before he puts me off the rails in Texas. But before I go any further, Charles, you got a question for Jonathan Brown? Oh my goodness. Well, listen. You're one of those drivers, Jonathan, that primarily runs at the Madhouse. You normally run at Bowman Gray Stadium. Over the last year and a half or so, you've done traveling. You're pretty much committed to running towards a championship thanks to Sadler and the mayor of Virginia and or the governor of Virginia. And can you put how that all came to pass and how successful that's been in the first 5 races of the year? And are you having fun traveling besides just racing at Bowman Gray Stadium now?
Yeah, absolutely. We're having a blast right now, and kind of the way it all worked out was back last summer. We were wrapping up at Bowman Gray, and a good friend of mine, Danny Bone, called and asked if I could fill a seat for him in the Buddy Ellis ride, the number 24 modified, for the Smart Tool race at Carteret County. And it just so happened I was going to be in Emerald Isle that weekend on vacation with my family. So I said, sure, it worked out. We had a lot of speed, led some laps there. Ended up, I think we finished third, and Buddy asked if I wanted to drive it the following weekend. So we loaded up and went to Caraway the following weekend and won the race. And
That's right. That's when I saw you. Yep.
So we went to Caraway and won the race with that car. And then we went to Motor Mile. We run fourth with that car. And then I decided to go to Ace, had a race, a smart modified race. And I took my own car, my Bowman Gray car, and we won that race. So that's kind of how we got back to doing some tour racing, because it'd been years since I'd done any tour racing. So we got back into doing that with Danny and Buddy Ellis. So then that kind of opened the door. I guess winning those couple of races opened the door for me to get in the ride with Senator Stanley and Hermie. And of course, PSR Product put that for us. And so I already had PSR Products build me a new car, and then we built some tour cars, and we've done some testing, and we're 5 races in now, and we've already got a win. I think 3 top 5s, 2 poles. We've shown speed from day one. Everything's just meshed really well. So let's talk about the fun part. So Bowman Gray is a lot of fun. It's also, I have a love-hate relationship. I mean, even when we're running good and I'm loving it, I still hate it a little. It's a tough place to go race week in and week out. Just like the 100-lap draw deal. I mean, you can be on the pole and draw dead last, and just have your night ruined in one lap. So I love and hate that place. I kind of looking forward to getting back started there some days, and some days I'm not. So I'm not real sure, but the tour racing is a lot of fun because we go different places. There's a lot of strategy involved with the pit stops. You're on bigger tracks, more speed, which I like. There's room to race. That's great. Like we went to South Boston last week. You can move all over that place. You can manipulate how your car is driving by moving around on the racetrack. I like that a lot. So we're not just stuck at Bowman Gray. We're going different places. Out of these first 5 tracks, 3 of them I've never been to. I'd never been to Florence or Franklin County. I'd never been to South Boston. So to go to those places, yeah. So
wow.
I had only ever been to Franklin County once, and that was years ago. So it's awesome to get to go to these different tracks, try new things, and it's really cool to have room to race. And we've shown speed. We've shown speed everywhere we went. And someone told me yesterday, I have 9 smart modified starts. I have 3 wins out of those 9 starts for 3 different car owners. 3 different cars and 3 different car owners. I thought that was pretty cool.
Wow.
Out of 9.
Yeah, that's a pretty good stat.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
That's a really good stat for sure, man. Definitely. And I'll tell you this, you obviously, if people are watching here on Finish Line or listening, of course, on the Fox Sports Radio affiliates, iHeart, or the Community Radio Network, or even on the replays when we put up the archive here on our podcast outlets, you remember the TV show Madhouse that was on Discovery Channel or the History Channel. You think of race night at Bowman Gray Stadium, which was actually also Discovery. History Channel did the Madhouse. Discovery Channel did race night at Bowman Gray Stadium. And do you feel like the videographers, do you feel like the storytellers of television, Jonathan, got it right? I've kind of talked to some people, and they said, well, they kind of
embellished and exaggerated some of the things that went on. It wasn't the proper selling tag to try to promote Bowman Gray Stadium. And then there's other people who are like, man, this is exactly what this place is every Saturday night, to each their own. Everybody's got opinions. As a driver, what do you say of what Madhouse and Race Night at Bowman Gray Stadium did to portray you guys, the warriors of the modifieds, around that quarter-mile football field? Because if people did not know, that is actually Winston-Salem State University, where they play football. Hence the reason why you only get to run from like end of April to almost the second or third week of August, because football season starts.
Yep. So both production companies, they were a lot different, I'll tell you that. Both very unique in their own ways. They both had good traits about the shows. For someone that's local and knows how things are there, they could kind of weed through the stuff that was kind of not like it really is in real life. But for someone from the outside looking in that's never been there and doesn't know the backstory of the place, it's tough for them. And I feel like both of them kind of shot themselves in the foot. If they would have just let the place tell its own story, let the things go how they really go, it would have been a lot better outcome with history and discovery. Some of the stuff was spot on. Some of it was obviously, made up. Not made up, but they portrayed things different ways.
Right.
Some things, in a different light than how they really were. Both of them had lots of room to be very successful, but for whatever reason, they just went the opposite way. I feel like the viewership was there, from my understanding. For whatever reason, they just went the opposite way with them. So I feel like if they would have brought some field producers in that really knew racing, or someone local that knew the stories, the backstories of the place,
sure,
it could have for sure been Discovery's #1 show. For sure.
Final question, and we'll let you go. Charles, you got any questions for Mr. Jonathan John Boy Brown before we do get him off the air here, buddy, in Texas?
Yeah, I don't have any actual real questions. I'm just curious if that's a train behind you, because I keep seeing something go out his back
He's
mirror.
at work.
Well, it looks like there's a train going behind him, or truck or something. I'm not sure. Yeah, right.
I'm in a parking lot. I'm in a parking lot.
He's at work.
Well, there could be like a train. See there, you see something go by. Maybe there's
there you go. Yeah,
it's a reflection of the cars driving by.
It is.
That's the train like track behind him.
Jonathan, after that crazy, out of nowhere, outlandish question, and my last name is Outland. I can't believe I'm using that segue. Thank you, Charles. I can always count on you, brother. Jonathan, on a serious note, 5 tour races in. We've seen NASCAR. We've seen what they've done from New Smyrna to where they've done at Richmond. Their next event is at Riverhead in May up in New York. You see what the Smart Modified Tour has done since they've launched from Florence to now being finished at Franklin County. They're not going to race again until June 29th on a Wednesday night at Caraway. Where do you see, as somebody that's respected in the open wheel world industry, where do you see modified racing now, pre-COVID, past COVID, and now in 2022?
So a lot of that, I feel like it's going to depend on the tires. I feel like there's a bit of an issue. I'm not going to call it a tire shortage, but we're limited as what we can get for practice tires right now, and I'm 100% okay with that, because it helps the lower funded teams. We can't just go and shell tires at the thing every time we go to the racetrack. But I feel like the tires are going to be a big issue. We just went to the, we took Ryan Newman in my team car to Richmond a few weeks ago. And we their tires from Loudon, leftover tires from Loudon. So wasn't a big deal. Everybody was on an equal playing field. I feel like the Smart Tour is kind of the same deal. Like a lot of where it goes from here on out is the tires are going to dictate a lot of that. Bowman Gray's in the same deal right now. Normally this time of year, you can go over there and get 50 tires if you want. Right now they're not letting you do that. You have to show up and get tires at the track or something. I'm not sure. I haven't even took a car over there yet, but
Well, it's going to be interesting to see where things go for sure, definitely. And on a brighter note, in closing, all of your races on the Smart Modified Tour and from Bowman Gray Stadium are going to be now on Flow Racing, Flow Sports. That's got to be awesome to, like you said, get a production. Hopefully it's a good production, good broadcast quality to promote the modifieds at Bowman Gray Stadium. And I take that away. I don't want to take anything away, Jonathan. I know you're a modified racer, but I don't want to take anything away from the limited sportsman or the mini stocks or the stadium stocks. Those are some awesome race cars too, man. They put on some awesome racing. I think of the battles between Sanders and others and, all the racing at Bowman Gray. If you like bump and bang 'em, short track racing, then that's where you need to be on Saturday night, beginning in next Saturday night, as a matter of fact, because the season cranks up. And I know everybody's looking forward to that. You had a short season last year. You got a full schedule this year. And, Bowman Gray Stadium is just, I tell people this, and I guess in closing, Jonathan, you can give me your remarks and thank your sponsors. It's not like going to Caraway. It's not like watching NASCAR. It's not like watching Wake County Speedway or Carteret County. Bowman Gray Stadium is its own animal, and to each their own. You might like the bumping, the banging, the fighting. You might like the racing because there has been good racing there. I've had arguments with people that have said, well, they just run and hit people out of the way. They run people in the wall. I've seen three wide. I've seen guys racing, leaning on one another. So it's just a matter of opinion, Jonathan. But your take on that, and, of course, thanks for being on Finish Line, and thank your sponsors.
Yeah, absolutely. Bowman Gray, like you said, it's its own animal. It is own character in itself. The biggest thing Bowman Gray has going for it is entertainment. You're going to get to see some cars go fast and make some noise. You're going to get to see some bumping and banging. You're going to get to see some people get wrecked on purpose. Great place to go people watch. I mean, you see, it's like 14 county fairs come together every Saturday. You see a little bit of everything. So it's an awesome place to go. There's a little bit of something for everybody there. Every walk of life, there's a little bit of something there for them. And that's the reason it packs out every week. That place.
Sure.
Thousands and thousands of people come through that gate every week. People. It's like them going to church. They're going to be there on Sunday, well, they're going to be at Bowman Gray on Saturday. That's just what they do. They've got their places they sit and watch. They've got their drivers they pull for, and they are some of the most passionate fans you will ever meet in your life. So just an awesome atmosphere. If you've never checked it out, you can check it out. And I promise you won't be disappointed. You will get to see some good racing, but you'll get to see a lot of other good things too.
For sure. Definitely.
Yep. So we'll get cranked up there next weekend. I'll be driving my own car there. Obviously, I drive for Senator Bill Stanley and Hermie Sadler on the Smart Tour with SS Racing. And, that was the biggest thing. This was my most exciting Smart Tour win. Getting this win for Hermie and the Senator, not only just a Smart Tour victory, but in Virginia, their home state, in the Senator's district, right in his backyard. All his people was there. It was just a win for me to Hermie's experienced that. The Senator's never experienced anything like that. So it was really special for me to be able to hand him that feeling. He's done so much for me in my career. That was really awesome for me. So I know you got other people, so I want to thank Pace-O-Matic, Michael and Carmen Pace. They sponsor not only myself and SS Racing, but they sponsor the entire Smart Tour.
Great
group of people, and they're just so passionate and caring. They're great. I've never quite had a sponsor as detail oriented as they are, and their company is. So they had representative from Pace at every racetrack. It's just great. Could not ask for a better sponsor. That's Pace-O-Matic. Obviously, SS Racing, the Stanley Law Group, everything they do for us. Bill and his wife is phenomenal. They're great. They cook for us and take care of us, and just great. PSR Products, Phil Stefanelli, his wife Jen, they build some awesome race cars. I'm here to tell you, I've drove a lot of things, and nothing compares to that PSR car. It's great. David Lewis at Robert Yates Racing's got us great horsepower. Just so many people, all my crew guys for following us around all these states and everything they do. It's just a really special thing going on right now. I'm a very blessed person, and I'm looking forward to letting you guys in on some big announcements we've got coming up. We're hoping to be able to do. I'm hoping we're going to get to do some NASCAR racing coming up.
Really?
And not just Bowman Gray. So forward getting some detail there and making that happen and trying my hand with those guys.
Well, listen, I appreciate you for unveiling some of that here on Finish Line, man. Thank you so much, Jonathan. So definitely Jonathan John Boy Brown looking to possibly get into the NASCAR 3 National Touring Series. So that's pretty cool. So, well, Jonathan, bud, good luck. Safe travels. Congratulations on Franklin County. Always great catching up with you here on Finish Line. I'll see you down the road, my friend, and good luck at the Madhouse next week.
Thank you, Wesley. Y'all have a good day. Thank you, buddy.
Not a problem, buddy. And, of course,
right.
As you just heard, Charles, you just heard him unveil it here on Finish Line, looking to possibly get into some NASCAR racing as well, in addition to the run of the modifieds. We now go from Winston-Salem and Jonathan John Boy Brown to up in Wisconsin. I know we're a little bit behind, but we're going to go now to Brad Severs here. And, Charles, what's going on, brother? What are we doing? We have audio, but we don't have video. Brad, are you with us, buddy? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
There
yes,
he
sir.
is. There he is. Sorry, interviews have ran a little bit longer than expected. We had a couple of people that were running late or had technical issues, and but we welcome you. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, so here's the thing. If you want to cue up our music, you can, Charles. When you come upon people in your life, okay, and this is the segue of introducing my next guest. There are just some people that you meet that you just connect with. Whether it be on a relationship side of things, whether it be on a business sense, whether it be on a friendship level, in the sport that you love, there's people that sometimes you just connect with. And in December of 2016-17, I had the privilege to meet somebody like that. And he joins us here on Finish Line. He has ran in Torque off-road racing. He has ran in modifieds. He has gone through hell and back. He has looked the devil in the face, slapped him upside the head as we are celebrating Easter, and then went on to still become a successful person, not only in his career, but also as a human being in life. Wisconsin's Brad Severs. Brad, it is so good to see you, buddy. You look good. Welcome to Finish Line.
Oh, man. Thank you so very much for introducing me and having me on the show. It means a lot to me.
You're certainly welcome. You're certainly welcome. So listen, you're wearing the shirt, and we do want to talk about that, and you're right out of the gate. So let's talk about where Racing in Recovery came from and how it's got you to where you're at today in 2022.
Oh, wow. That's a long story, and, if I miss some things, you guys can go to Severs website to check out my story, but it starts out just a childhood with addiction, in the family, and grew up with it, and kind of fell into the same places, that addiction table, and as I grew up, with an alcoholic and watching him go through things and and I was following the same footsteps. And I found the courage from my mom to go when I was 20 years old. So I went to drug and alcohol rehab. And at that point, after about a year of being sober and clean, I started to be able to look at dreams because I had the confidence then to maybe be able to do something. And Evil Knievel was like one of my heroes, even though when it comes to drugs and alcohol, maybe it wasn't the greatest hero, but his show and what he did, to be able to, inspire people. And so I bought a motorcycle after a short time being sober, and was pretty successful at it. And that led to a reason to stay sober. Like I wanted to be a pro.
Right.
I wanted to have the atmosphere around me that these pros did that I looked up to. And and the way they inspired kids, the way they inspired other people to go after things, I wanted to be something like that to other people. But until 2014, and I ran out of talent one night and shattered my neck, back, shoulders, and hip. And my career kind of ended. And then I was working for RJ Anderson, very famous off-road racer, Pro 2, all that stuff. And I was working for him. And on the way to the Reno Sparks, Nevada, I had to fly into there. I stopped at my local dirt track. And one of my buddies let me drive his dirt modified in a mechanics race. And I was like, yeah, I've never been in a car before. And I didn't get the thing in gear. We're grinding stuff and the clutch in the motor, So I get out, I get that thing in high gear, and I start running up against the wall like you did on the motorcycles. And I just was very good at it, and I had no clue what I was doing. So within 48 hours, I had my boat sold. I bought a dirt modified. I bought a semi trailer. I went all in, right? And then that was 2013, and I was running, 60 seconds a summer on my own with help, and I was working a full-time job. I was living in my semi, running back and forth to work, staying at work, prepping my car at lunch break, running to another racetrack, and somebody come up to me and said, Brad, no one understands why you race so much. And I'm like, well, whatever. And this person said, I think you need to tell your story. I'm like, I don't have a story, dude. Like, I just don't. Dude, you have a story. I told my story of my childhood and my drug addiction and why racing was important to me. And obviously, it hit the internet, and people were just like, oh, and they started following me, and they wanted to know more about me. And that's kind of where we're at now. And then I started racing for recovery when I went to the off-road side of things. And we brought people with addiction issues onto our race team, skills, got them jobs, and helped them in their recovery. Not all of them were addiction issues. Some were just, they made some mistakes back in their life. And we tried to help people to get back to that life. There is a life after mistakes. There is a life after addiction. Is after it. And addiction and racing has so much things in common. You have struggles with the racetrack. You have struggles with the car, the way it handles. You have struggles with people. You have struggles with it. So I really use racing as that background to help people with addiction and with their life back. Because if I can do it, Wesley, anybody can do it.
Yeah, for sure. Man, listen, we've got a couple of minutes together, so if you want to bring me back on camera, Charles, grab a chair, sit down. You got to stand up the whole time. Sit down and take a load off, as they say. Let's kick back and relax and have a conversation. I see you standing up there. You're going to make me want to stand and salute. So grab you a chair behind you and sit down, and let's chat and just talk about things, because we got my buddy Brad Severs from Wisconsin here, and I met him through, of course, David Bowen and Let's Race Magazine in Indianapolis at PRI. I think I've done some radio stuff with you and did some interviews and done some video interviews, and we've had a relationship and followed each other on Facebook since then. And I needed to fill in, and I just, out of the blue last night at 2 o'clock in the morning, why the hell was I awake? I don't know. And I was working, I tell people this all the time, and Charles, I know you can chime in here. Brad, I know you can also say the same thing as well. When you do what we do, whether it is racing, whether it is broadcasting, you literally are so hyped up, especially Charles after he drinks 4 or 5 energy drinks the way he does. You literally cannot, it's like what you talked about for Racing with Recovery, Brad. For me, it's an addiction. Racing is an addiction. There's a high in what makes you get excited and what you enjoy, whether it's drugs, whether it's alcohol, whether it's racing, whether it's playing sports, whether it's working out, going to the gym, binge watching television. People get excited watching TV. They're excited about what the newest episodes is. You got some people that love 600-Pound Life or love American Idol or love what did you say, Charles? Charles is in my ear in the background, Brad. He said something about Pimple Popper. I guess there's a TV show called Pimple Popper. I don't know. So whatever. But anyhow, what you're saying though, Brad, is the honest truth, bud, because there's people that they have an addiction. You can literally get addicted to too much racing. You can abuse it. Look at what's happened to so many people, Brad, that have that hunger, that desire, that passion of racing, and they just want to win. It's not just racing anymore. They want to win. And if they don't win, they're not happy. And then things go downhill. Well, then the same thing goes when they're tearing cars up. Eventually you put yourself in the bankrupt world, or you're out of the limelight. So, yeah, I mean, this addiction thing, Racing for Recovery, is just one small sample. It's not just drugs and alcohol. I've always said this, Brad, and it's kind of like the golden rule that God always says: look but don't touch, touch but don't taste, taste but don't swallow.
Right,
but swallow,
right.
but don't gluttonize yourself. But the thing is, in the concept of those wordings is, you can celebrate these things, you can like these things, just don't abuse them. Am I right, Brad?
Oh, yeah, for sure. But I do believe in when an addiction starts to give you negative things in your life, then
Sure.
you need to change it, right? I mean, if you're addicted to making people smile, there's nothing wrong with that, as long as you remember to smile, right? And if my racing inspired others, which it has, thousands of people, I get calls every single, and I've inspired people through my story to be able to have the strength to go after that in their life, whether it's just to better their life. And yeah, I mean, racing is my addiction. And because of COVID, I lost a lot of marketing partners, and we weren't able to continue to keep racing. So I actually started Sobriety Express LLC, which is a trucking company that all the profits go to help people with addiction until I can get back to the racetrack.
Definitely, for sure. Brad Severs is joining us. Brad Severs Racing for Recovery, also on social media. And Brad, man, so you were really wide open. I mean, I remember things before COVID hit. You were staying busy. You was doing the Torque Off-Road Racing Series. You was running in open wheel modifieds. You were going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And all the while, you were telling your story. And they were letting you tell your story. And I think that's what's so great is, some people, they get this, well, I'm embarrassed to talk about it. Or I don't want people to know about the skeletons that are in my closet. Listen, everybody's got skeletons in your closet. Nobody's perfect. There's only one man in this entire world that was ever a perfect person, and that was our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And he died on the cross this time, decades, centuries, hundreds, thousands of years ago, for us to be able to be forgiven for the wrongdoings of our life. And for people that try to, right, 2022 years ago, as a matter of fact, you're exactly right. Thank you, Charles. But Brad, people sometimes try to hide their past. They try to deflect from it. And the fact of the matter is, embrace your past, because the things that you go through in your life Listen, I wasn't always successful. I gone through hell, trials, and tribulations as well. I have a personal life just like anybody else does, Brad, just like you do, just like anybody here, whether it's stress over finances, whether it's your children, whether it is divorce, relationships, drugs, whatever it is. People go through personal things in life. All of those guys that you see and gals that you see strap in on the NASCAR level, or you see as football players or professional athletes or professional superstars or singers or actresses or actors, Brad, they've all got personal problems. They've all got
Absolutely.
things that are on personal level. And then somehow, some way, when you are in the spotlight, like Brad, like myself, like them, as a public figure, because I do not like the word celebrity. I don't quote myself as a celebrity. I quote myself as somebody that's on a public spotlight of what I do. And you've got to first off portray and do what you say you're going to do. You can't be one thing and then be the opposite off camera. Who you are is who you are. And that's one thing I'll always say, Brad. Never try to be something that you're not. I might have made mistakes younger in my life when I was young and might have done things of that caliber, but the worst thing you could ever do is try to be something that you're not. Be yourself, be who you are, love who you are, have people accept who you are. And if they can't, then they're not the people that need to be in your circle of life. And bottom line, tell your story like you've done, Brad, like you've told me since 2016. You always never hide anything. You say, look, I went through this in my life and I went through these trials and tribulations, but look at what God and faith and love got me through. And of course, your love for racing also on that level, Brad. And I'm sure now COVID has really knocked you down. But keep yourselves up. Be positive. I'm sure you'll get back on the racetrack soon. Obviously, hopefully, with everything economically, hopefully getting better also.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. I wouldn't change the mistakes I've made because it's made me who I am today. But I wish I could change the people I hurt because of those mistakes.
Sure,
And, and I've
definitely.
done the best I could to make amends to that. I mean, I went through a divorce a couple of years ago, and that was 100% my fault. Like, me and my ex-wife are really good friends because I do admit my problems. I don't blame them on other people or my mistakes. Sure. And that's important to be able to hold yourself accountable for making mistakes and go, want to know something? That was dumb of me. That was selfish of me. I didn't realize I was going to hurt anybody because of that choice. And, and you're right. I am that person. Like I don't care if you're a stranger, if you want to know about mistakes I've made, I'm not proud of my mistakes, but I'm proud to say that I'm a better person than I was yesterday because of those mistakes. And, and that's what life is about. We're not always going to do the right thing. We're not always, and even when we try, we don't realize that the consequences further down the road could hurt other people. And
That's
at the moment you think it's a great idea, you're like, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to help this person. Well, it didn't quite work out, but don't stop trying to be a better person because of that. We have free will for a reason, right? We're able to make mistakes, but what you do with those mistakes it does not need to dictate what kind of person you are, and that's
for sure.
Firmly what I believe in. I don't care if you've been a drug alcoholic for 70 years. My father has been sober for 5 years and he's almost 80 years old. I have the dad I always dreamed of my entire life. Like I have him. I mean, he's literally listening to this interview, and I'm so proud of him, and I'm so glad I understood addiction enough to not live with that resentment for what happened through my childhood. And you're right, man. I'm a better person because of it. And obviously, my social media. Anybody needs to reach out. I'm always here for them.
Racing for Recovery and Brad Severs Racing. You can reach out to Brad directly. Brad, thank you so much, man, for taking the time to be on. I've got one more question for you, and I will let you go as we do have Michael Rouse coming up. He was actually going to be one of our first guests, and we had to bump him to the back because of work-related deals. He has been waiting patiently as we have been probably 10 minutes behind Flux on schedule with all of our guests because we were late on getting some of our guests on. And it's kind of that pendulum effect of it takes time. You lose this guy, you lose this guy, you lose this guy, and then all of a sudden you're backtracked. So we should be ready to get off the air. Matter of fact, we are coming up on the top of the hour. So if our Fox Sports Radio affiliates do need to leave at 3 p.m. Eastern time, I completely understand. For those that are listening on iHeartRadio, the Community Radio Network, Spreaker, Spotify, as well as on the YouTube and Facebook LSR Productions feed, will stay with you. Brad, one final question. Where do you see the heart of racing in the Midwest? You're from Wisconsin. Where do you see racing going at after, I mean, even it hurts you because of COVID. What's your overall synopsis of everything that's happened after pre-COVID, past COVID, and now where we're at in 2022?
The pre-COVID thing, everything was going good. A lot of guys were coming out of the woodwork. They were following their dreams of wanting to be in a race car. It was easy to get tires. It was not real easy to get marketing partners, but there were people out there that were willing to help people and to be able to advertise on the side of a race car, which, we all know that's very difficult unless you're in a really big spotlight with TV coverage. But there was people doing it. And then when COVID hit, everything stopped. Like we had some really big marketing partners on board. And, we lost them because obviously I can't blame them. We didn't know what the world was going to be like or what was going to happen. So, obviously there's no hard feelings on that side of it. And, and then I continued to try to keep it, and it was tough. And now it's a strategy thing, right? Do you try to continue racing with the way things are, and then with the supply of radiators and the supply of tires and the supply of that, you're gonna have to look at life a little differently. Maybe be more conservative in other areas to be able to go racing, but definitely do not stop following your dreams because of anything else. You will find a way if you want to do it bad enough, or take some time off, regroup, kind of check it out. But racing here in the Midwest, I feel we have some of the best dirt track racers around here, and I love racers, asphalt, dirt, cars, motorcycles, whatever. And don't give up following your dreams, no matter what.
Certainly. Brad Severs Racing and Racing for Recovery. Reach out to Brad if anybody has any testimony, stories, and if you ever need any help, I'm sure he's somebody that could definitely help get you right back on the right path, especially after what all he's been through and to be as successful as he has. Brad, love you, brother. Mean that. Great catching up with you, man. We got to do this again sometime, and thanks for being on Finish Line today.
Thank you for having me.
There you go. There's Brad Severs, ladies and gentlemen. And now we get ready to go to our final guest from Brad Severs in Wisconsin to Wilson, North Carolina, tobacco country. And Mr. Michael Rouse is joining us here. Michael, do me a favor, brother. So take your phone and go like this. Make yourself big. There you go. Hey, he is he's inside his race shop in Wilson, North Carolina at Michael Rouse Racing Engines. And anybody, if you need, okay, I'm not trying to sell you here, but if anybody needs a good racing engines, whether it's dirt or pavement, late model, modified, 4-cylinder, you name it, Michael Rouse can get it done. A majority of drivers in this area win on Rouse Racing Engines. Michael, is that a hell of a promo for you? Welcome to Finish Line, my friend.
Yeah. It's been a long time. Ain't talked to you in a little while.
It certainly has. We were actually with the Community Radio Network broadcast coverage of the I-95 Late Model Challenge Series this past Saturday at County Line Raceway. And, of course, J.R. Knotts was on public address along with Michael Vick down in Victory Lane. We got there so late because we had 4 broadcasts in one day. We had thought about piping into the public address, but when we got there at like 6:45, 7 o'clock, you're hot lapping. We literally just set up a very fast radio radio production. But I think the plan is talking with Brenda Holcomb and James that we're going to come back and do some more stuff there this year. But Michael, man, I'm telling you, it just seems like you pick up right where you left off, whether you're in a pavement car, whether you're in a dirt car. And I tell people this story. You can bring me back on camera real quickly, Charles. I tell people this story. This is how long me and Mr. Michael Rouse have known each other. And if I'm getting the story wrong, Michael, please tell me. You were in Myrtle Beach. You were helping somebody work on a racing engine. And the opportunity come for you to drive one of the race cars in the UARA Stars event, Father's Day weekend, 2007. And you turn around, or 2006 might have been, or 2008, 9, something around there. I think it was 2008. Anyhow, you go there to Myrtle Beach, and first time in a UARA Stars late model touring event, and you win the race. And that was on pavement. And then you turn around and you get involved in the building racing engines on a dirt capacity. And once you got into dirt racing, pavement's bye-bye, you're running dirt. Am I correct?
Yeah, you pretty close. Actually, the race engine deal started with my daddy. He built race motors in the early 90s, and I just kind of growed up around it. But yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, I raced the cars or the tour for 2 or 3 years there, and won a race or two, and run Southern National a lot, run a lot of our local places in late model stock for a lot of years.
Do you like dirt better than pavement? I know that's a stupid question for me to ask, but obviously I'm going to do it because, it seems like you do a lot more dirt racing compared to pavement.
Funny story behind that. The NASCAR side of the late model stock stuff, it kind of got out of hand. And
gotcha.
Me and my daddy, we talked about it. We went out, basically decided that we were going to quit, but I wanted to keep racing, but he wanted to kind of step aside and kind of get out of it. So we bought a late model dirt car, and he kind of, I ain't gonna say he quit helping me, but he just kind of slowed things down a little bit. Just kind of wanted to more stand back and watch everything happen. But yes,
gotcha.
I really enjoyed it. It's pretty cool.
Winner of the I-95 Late Model Challenge Series, round number 2 this weekend. The County Line Raceway, Michael Rouse is joining us here on Finish Line. And by the way, Michael, I do got to say thanks to Rouse Racing Engines because you're harder to get up with than the president. I tried messaging you. I had 2 or 3 people that I knew in confidence that I texted and was like, hey, man, give me Michael's number. And all the while, last night, when I was talking to Brad about this, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, last night, just out of the blue, I'm thinking to myself, bing! Rouse Racing Engines. Contact their social media, Wesley. And as soon as I sent a message the next morning, I wake up this morning before preparing for the show, and after getting Charles' Texas 12 o'clock alarm to get my ass out of bed, and it was a message from your dad, and he said, hey, this is his dad. I know who you are. This is how you need to reach him. Call him. So for sure, definitely, thanks to your dad for making that happen. Michael, racing engines, man, what has it been like building the race engines, pre-COVID, past COVID, and now where we're at now? We saw where Hoosier and other businesses have upped the prices. Is that something that you think engine builders are going to have to start doing? Do you think the prices are going to skyrocket for racing engines, or is that something that you can enforce on your own?
No, it's just the shipping costs, the parts costs, everything is just going up, like groceries or gas, everything. So yeah, you're going to definitely have to start creeping up a little bit on our prices. I mean, labor prices, that's kind of a lot up to the engine builder, but they're going to have to start creeping up some just to be able to live and be able to do it. There's not a lot of parts people out there no more that really supplies the right parts that we need for some of these engines. Crate motors, we thought a couple years ago was going to be the way to go, but, their supply's down. GM's down. I mean, it's just a hard deal right now to try to build engines in general.
Do you think we're ever going to try to come back on these prices, or do you feel like, Michael, and we talked about this with Jonathan Brown and some other people as well, do you feel like what we have now is what we're going to end up with for forever, and maybe even go up more down the road. But obviously, it is what it is now. And do you feel like that's going to hurt the sport? Do you think it's going to hurt the business? Is it going to hurt you as far as trying to stay busy with building racing engines, Michael?
Yeah, I think it will. It's going to affect everybody, and I don't think it's not going to change. I mean, what's something other than gas prices? Once it goes up, normally it don't come back down. I mean, it's just price of production, and everything is crazy. And I really don't know what the racing community is going to do. But I mean, we got issues with tires, we got issues with fuel, everything. So, I think middle of this year, you're really going to see a real big change in the racing in general.
Charles, if you want to jump in here, and we have a producer in Texas. He's also our co-host, Charles Wooten. Michael, if you listen up, you'll be able to hear him. You got anything you want to say with Mr. Rouse, Charles?
No, but first off, I guess it was you that followed our Facebook page. Thank you. But obviously, I'm big into the sim world as well. Could we see some of these guys going, more sim if we can't get all the tires and fuel and stuff gets even worse? Hopefully, by 2023, some stuff will be getting better. But could we see the sim side, take off where we don't have to worry about real fuel and tires and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think for sure. I mean, that was a real big part of it with NASCAR. They kind of made that transition. It's pretty cool to watch it. And I do some racing myself and play around at home a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I really enjoy it. Yeah, it's something pretty cool. I play with it a lot.
There you go. I say this all the time to Charles, and I really think we should try to, even if I promote it myself, we should create a real racers sim race. I think it would be cool if we could get somebody like Michael Rouse and real racers to try to come together and do a sim event. I know we've probably done it a long time ago, but I would like to make it where it is just real race car drivers, not sim racers, not the guys that are on sim, but the real race car drivers that have the credentials and have them go at it. I think that'd be pretty hilarious to try to put together for sure, to watch for certain.
Cool.
Charles, what did you say? 10,000 to win? He said he paid 10,000 to win.
All right,
holy cow!
Yeah, I'm down.
It's made me drop my pen.
Yeah.
I disappeared on the set because I dropped my pen. So,
oh my God.
Michael, what are you plans this year? Obviously, man. Let's talk about the I-95 late model series. Of course, it has been around since, oh my goodness, 2017, 2018, something like that. And it seems like it's got really bigger the last couple of years. I know it was co-sanctioned with the Fuel late model series last year, and Fuel disappeared. They took up their ball and went home. I guess they felt like they couldn't hang with everything that was going on after COVID. I wish Jason Atkins and everybody the best of luck, but Fuel is no longer an entity, or at least they're not racing right now. They took a leave of absence. I don't want to say here on the show publicly that they've folded their tents, but they're not racing. Hello, we're almost mid-April. They haven't had a feature race yet. Normally they're racing in February or March. But with that being said, the I-95 late model series is going on, and Brenda Holcomb and James are the promoters. And it used to be where it was every track does their own thing, but now there's kind of like a little organization where Brenda and James are operating it. Jimmy Holcomb are operating it. And you're going to Halifax, and you're going to County Line, and you're going to Fayetteville, and you're going up and down Interstate 95, hence the name I-95 Late Model Challenge Series. Do you feel like with everything going up in expenses and cost, Michael, that series and other regional series are going to be successful because of this?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the I-95 deal is really a lot of our local people race it. So I don't think it's going to affect us that bad, as long as we can keep our racetracks and keep our tires, that we can use. Now, I think Jim Long's series is going to be pretty good. Steel Block Bandits.
Bandits. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Basically the same rule package that we have. It's pretty good. They pay pretty good money, but it's just a lot of traveling involved. I think that's going to hurt them in the long run.
Do you think that there might be an opportunity where the Steel Block Bandits and the I-95 series try to work together? Because listen, if people don't start working together, they're going to hurt each other and then they're going to shut each other down. Do you think we could see ourselves possibly maybe not per se race on top of one another? Like, for instance, that's what they did. And by the way, props to both racetracks. So we were at County Line. I know Eddie and Jim and Joseph Swan and all them, they were at, I think it was Sumter Speedway this past weekend. They had 37 late models. We had 22. And I was talking with Brenda in follow-up about that on debrief at the end of the night. And I told her, I was like, look, if you have 20 cars at County Line Raceway, that's a good show, And honestly, look at what happened, Michael. We had one caution on the start with a car spinning, quickly drop the green. You go 40 green flag laps all the way to the checkered flag, and it was still a great finish.
Yeah, it really was. Lap traffic got a little hairy in that deal. But racing at County Line is always really good. Mr. Elward, he does an awesome job with the surface there. It's always really repeatable, always really good racing. Only thing we didn't per se like is, and I think it hurt a lot of people, was the tire situation that we were dealt. Like, we had to hot lap, qualify, and race on the same 4 tires. So we had no right rear option. But yeah, it was a really good race. I'm looking forward to the rest of the year.
And I'm thinking also in the process, you've got to save your racing tires as well. Am I right? I mean, you've got to save. You can't overdo it. You can't, put too much power in your car in qualifying and in practice, because this is basically the set that you're given upon. And I'll be honest, Michael, I think we're going to see many racetracks do that, and series enforce that as well throughout this year and maybe next year. What your take on that, Michael?
Yeah, I agree. I feel like Hoosier has made a change with their tires. I think they've changed something in them. Last 2 weeks ago at Fayetteville, we run 13 laps on a right rear tire and busted it, and it was brand new to start the feature. So,
oh wow!
From then on, like we went to County Line, run 30 laps, and the tire was completely slick about to bust. So I feel like they changed the chemical, or they're making them so fast that they ain't got cure time on them. But there's definitely something going on with the tires.
So my question is this, Michael. Tires are checked. They do benchmark. They send them to Blue Ridge Labs up the road in Hudson, North Carolina. Do you feel like we might possibly see tires being recalled and drivers innocently being disqualified because of maybe the altering that Hoosier's done to the racing tires? Do you think possibly?
I think it's possible, but I think what they do is once they take a sample and get the serial number, then they actually talk to the manufacturer and they give them a chemical layout of it, so everything's got
additives and all that. Gotcha. Charles has has another question for you here on Finish Line, buddy. Listen up.
Yeah, we're talking about tires, so I think we've brought this up before, Wesley. One thing, obviously, these tires, they're getting worn out on these tracks, and as a race fan, I much rather prefer a dry slick track because I think it makes the driver have to drive more. But do the tracks need to do their best? And they're not going to be perfect because weather is weather. But do these tracks need to do more of their part to keep more moisture in the track and keep it more tacky and wet so that it's not just shredding these tires on that dry dirt sand crap that just, is like sandpaper on the tire?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you in a way, but I think the way our dirt works in this general area, there's so much sand in it. I think every time they water it and every time it rains, it brings all that sand back to the top of the racetrack. And, I don't know if there's anything we can do about it around this area to make it any wetter and stay wet like that the whole weekend. I mean, I think the dirt's not right for it.
For sure, definitely. Well, listen, Mike Rouse on Facebook and Rouse Racing Engines as well, for sure, on social media. Michael, thanks for taking the time to join us here on Finish Line, man. Great catching up with you. What's your plans for the remainder of the 2022 season? And in segue, thank your sponsors as well.
Yeah, we're going to stay local a little bit this year with the gas prices and stuff. So we're going to run all our local races. We're going to run some of GM stuff. We're gonna run some class racing, some ultimate racing. But I really can't do it without all the people I got behind me. Mr. Matthew Barnes and his family at Roberts. We got Mr. Sonny Scott, Scott Farms, love sweet potatoes. We got Curtis Insulation. We got Red Moon. Really appreciate it. They've been with me for a long time. We got Rouse Racing Engines. We got WP Racing Shocks, West Page. I've been with him a really long time. I really appreciate everything he's ever done for me. I could call him anytime and he'll answer any question I have.
Michael, I just had a light bulb go off in my head, and I'm asking you one more question. I'm going to let you go. You got success on pavement, and for the most part lately, you've ran dirt. But obviously, you've got friends in the pavement world just like we do. You've obviously know Southern National. You've raced there before. You've been successful there before. There's a big race coming up in November, the Solid Rock Carriers Thanksgiving Classic, $50,000 to win. Would that make you load up and get a pavement late model and race for that event at Kinley in November?
Sure, yeah, that'd be awesome. Anybody wants to give me a ride, I greatly appreciate it. But, customers, that I really enjoy just going to watch the races now more than I do actually racing in them. I like to see the kids, the younger generation and the way they drive and the drive that they have. So I don't really care nothing for it no more.
Gotcha. Well, they're the future for sure, whether it's on dirt or pavement, definitely. Well, Michael, thanks for taking the time to join us here on Finish Line, man. I'm glad we finally were able to get connected. I've known you for almost a decade. You're a hell of a nice guy, and every time you ever get in a race car, I always tell people whether it's pavement or dirt, and I always think of that UARA story, Father's Day weekend when you won at Myrtle Beach, and that was just a dream come true story for you. Man, keep up the great work, and congratulations, and hopefully we can get through this on the other side of the road, and you're still in business and still kicking ass and taking names in that 23 car.
Yeah, thank you.
Not a problem, buddy. There you go. That is Michael Rouse, and we have officially reached the end with the exception of rants with Charles and Wesley. Charles, what are we going to rant about? We had 3. Stop! Oh, look at your puppy. Hi. That dog is looking at you like, what the hell are you doing to me, buddy? What are you doing to me? Maybe you want to go get Max. Hang on a second. I'll be right back. Max! Hang on a minute. Max, come here, buddy. Come here, Max. Come here, Max. Come here, buddy. I don't think his ass wants to be on camera now. I think he knows. Is that Max? Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here. Oh my goodness, I love you, buddy. Yes. Oh yeah. It's taking my headset off. You got what kind of dog have you got? Come here. Stop your mess. Come here. Come here. Come here. No, that's mine. He's trying to eat my damn Snickers bar. Come here. Come here, buddy. Look. It's for snack later. You had Mexican food. I have a candy bar. Look at this. Look at your buddy. Yes, the other day was actually National Pet Day. Okay, come here. I thought you were done. Notice Max. Notice Max is a big dog. He's an Australian Rottweiler. That's what they call it, an Australian Rottweiler. Yeah, tell us about your dog, Charles. What kind of dog have you got here? He's not a very he's looking at you like, what the hell have you done to me? Get me off of this camera. Like, seriously. National Pet Day was, I think it was Sunday. I think it was National Pet Day. So for sure. Look, you got to love your puppies. Hi. He ain't even studying me. So, well, let's see. I know one of the things we had talked about was Martinsville, the race itself. the Xfinity fight between Sam Mayer and Ty Gibbs, and of course Bristol on dirt. So, and whatever else you want to rant about, whatever you else want to talk about. What are you
Bristol on
angry
dirt,
about, Charles?
Bristol on dirt, I like. I could go on for hours talking about get out of the camera now. You're right in front of my face. The whole fight. Oh, we lost Wesley again. To talk about the fight.
I shut the studio door so the dog don't run in here anymore. It's tried 2 times to eat my damn Snicker bar. I'm getting mad.
I'm looking forward to the Bristol on dirt. I want to see how that goes this year with the improvements. 2, now my rant really is about this fight. And I have 3 sides to this story if you want to get deep down into it. 1,
his side, their side, and God's side.
No, I remember the old school, Ralph Earnhardt telling Dale Sr., at least from the movie 3, I assume it really happened in real life, don't take your helmet off. When some loon is coming after you, you do not take your helmet off. So that's on him. He took his helmet off. Now, on the flip side of that, the fact that he took it off, I think Ty Gibbs should have taken his off, then decked him in the face, and hit him like a little girl, according to the other guy. I don't even know his name, but
Sam Mayer. Sam Mayer.
If you're gonna hit Sam, take your helmet off so he can hit you back. It's that simple. Now, I did think it kind of funny that Sam's like, he hit like a girl, and I didn't even feel it when his face was bloodied up and had a big cut on it. So obviously it was not like a little girl punch. He decked him twice pretty good. I also have to wonder, is NASCAR taking it to a higher level than it really needs to be because of who it is, with being Ty Gibbs? It takes me back to the whole, ordeal with Kyle Larson in the N-word. They way over-exaggerated that.
Which was around this time 2 years ago.
Yeah, maybe they need some publicity. I don't know. That being said, I don't think either one of them should have been fined. I disagree with penalizing in any way for a fight in the infield, because what's the alternative? Let them wreck their cars?
Let me clarify, Charles. Let me clarify on this. The penalty was $20,000. There was a $15,000 penalty for rough driving after the conclusion of a race. It wasn't the matter of fighting with Sam Mayer. NASCAR is saying, first off, there was another $5,000 penalty. We'll talk about that in a second as well. But it was a $15,000 penalty handed down by NASCAR yesterday to Ty Gibbs and crew because he was hitting Sam Mayer's car under the cool-down lap, down the back straightaway, and then it escalated, hitting him in the back, in his rear, down on pit road, which made them feel that it was during an unsafe environment. You can't do that. There's people there. The track's cold, track's hot. People are on pit road. The cars are coming down pit road. The race is over. Post-race is going on. And they felt that due to those actions detrimental, I love how NASCAR throws that out there, actions detrimental of the sport is the reason why they gave him a $15,000 penalty. Then, Charles, he got busted. God almighty, I hate my hair. He got busted for another $5,000. I think it's his headset, honestly. He got busted for another $5,000 penalty, Charles, for having a loose lug nut.
Well, I mean, loose lug nut, what's the point at this point? I mean, who
so there's...
I mean, okay, maybe he only has one lug nut, but still, okay, give him the pine if you're running into somebody, on pit lane. I did see where his hood was smashed up, on pit road. That's endangering other people, but I'm glad. I thought they penalized him for the fighting.
So that's the penalty. It wasn't for fighting.
Yeah,
it wasn't for fighting. But I'll say this, though, Charles. I will say this, though, buddy, and you come back on your rebuttal. If you're going to fight me, put up your dukes, let's be men, and let's go at it. Don't talk smack to me and keep on your driver helmet and then not expect for me to retaliate. And that's what happened. That's what Sam was telling him. Hey, man, take off your helmet. You want to fight me? Let's fight. And when he started pushing him and then they started pushing back, Yeah, in my opinion, that was cowardly. Yes, you're exactly right. You don't ever take your helmet off before you get out of your race car. But Charles, when Ty Gibbs got out of his car and he made it an approach to go to Sam Mayer, and his intention was to push and shove, there ain't no doubt about it. You could tell from his body language that he wanted Sam Mayer. Listen, they're racing for $100,000 to win in the Dash for Cash. Somebody got moved out of the way. There's some hurt feelings there. Ty Gibbs has kind of ruffled some people's feathers, Charles, honestly, in the last couple of weeks. I like Ty Gibbs. I think he's a great talent to the sport. I think he's an awesome villain to the sport. I don't even want to call him a villain. But what I will say is this. He kind of made his teammate, John Hunter Nemechek, mad at Richmond when he moved him out of the way to win that race. Ty's kind of done some aggressive driving this year to kind of tick some people off. And I think, honestly, Charles, Sam Mayer said, look, to each their own. You did it to your teammate to win Richmond last week. I'm going to do it to you to win $100,000. And that's exactly what he did. And Ty Gibbs wasn't happy about it. And I will tell you this. I think that Joe Gibbs is on the fence because you got to think, Charles, here is Brandon Jones, who wins the Xfinity race. By the way, it was the 811 call before you dig 250 for the Xfinity series. Shout out to the Sim 500 and Brian Morehouse, who was on finish line last week. I'm having a squirrel moment. But Charles, you go from running somebody, bumping somebody, moving somebody out of the way, to then if it happens to you, now you're upset and you want to fight. And to me, I think that's hypocritical. If you can't dish it out, if you can't take it, don't dish it out, in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely agree. You know, he should have taken his helmet off if he wanted to throw punches. Said, here, Mr. Crew Chief, hold my helmet while I punch this dude in the face. You know, and I wish he would have just done that and not done the stuff on pit road because,
right.
You know, you've seen it. So we've seen there was a Matt Kenseth took out Joey Logano and just wrecked him. You know, all that does
I was there.
That just causes a lot of more damage. Could potentially get somebody else involved in it and cost a lot of money to fix those cars. So I like it. Personally, I think iRacing. I think NASCAR should invest in every track having a boxing ring, and when it's over, if you want to fight, put gloves on and just go at it and box it up. I actually had a principal that did that in junior high. You know, it's
really
kids wanted to get in a fight, he would put boxing gloves on them and let them box it out. Of course,
load up the fight in the gym. Remember the movie The Beverly Hillbillies?
Yeah.
Getting the facts, getting the text. Fight in the gym. Fight in the gym.
Yeah. Let them go at it.
For sure. I agree. I agree.
But yeah, Ty Gibbs definitely. It was a bit of a chicken move to keep your helmet on. You know, Sam probably shouldn't have taken his helmet off, or he wouldn't have a busted up face right now. But either don't take your helmet off, and if one guy does, then Ty should have taken his off so that, there could have been a rebuttal and, maybe Ty Gibbs would have the busted up face right now too.
And I would say this as well, honestly, Charles, I don't think this is over between them two.
Oh, definitely
I
not.
think they will. I think they will meet again, On the subject of Martinsville, very disappointed with the TV ratings. I think it had a TV Nielsen rating of 3. I heard that it was spiking really high when they first came on the air, but then it flatlined, and it flatlined down to a 3 total. I don't know. I don't know what's happened, Charles, from what we saw from the Coliseum with the next gen car to Daytona and Speed Weeks to the West Coast swing, where those races were phenomenal, at Las Vegas Auto Club in Phoenix to Atlanta. Wow. We go to Richmond. What an okay race that was. I'm just wondering, and I hate to say this because I'm a worker in the sport and I love the sport. But Charles, I wonder if these next gen cars just ain't going to work on the short tracks.
I recall hearing and of course I could have dreamed this too. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I recall hearing that Martinsville had the lowest caution count for that track since like 1950 or 70 or something like that. It was
It wasn't like
super
that for
low.
us on Monday.
No, it wasn't. But it had the lowest caution count that they had seen in years and years.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that makes you wonder, it spiked when it came on because people like to see those wrecks. They go to dirt track racing because they want to see sprint cars flip. And when they didn't see these big wrecks and people feuding on the track, they tuned out and went to watch polo or
That's
something.
right.
I don't know.
That's right. That's right.
So, that was my thinking that the viewership went down is because they didn't see that. I'd imagine it spiked back up there at the end, or should have, but they weren't seeing the Happy Harvick getting in there and smashing into somebody, and hot smoke Tony Stewart, hot under the collar, and they weren't seeing that at Martinsville like they used to, and
Oh.
tuned them out. They got bored.
For sure, definitely, and finally, our rant. I think NASCAR's got to figure something out here. Bristol might be a totally different animal because it's a dirt race, it's short track racing. Oh, Charles, I got to go back to Bristol, opening up our dirt segment. Obviously, the second running of the Bristol dirt race, it will be at night this year. Weather conditions look to be pristine and a lot better than it was last year, where they had 3 days of flooding, and then they ran on a Monday afternoon with the trucks and the Cup race on the same day, and it was in the daytime. This race will be at night. The trucks will be at night on Friday, Saturday night. Sunday night is the, of course, Easter Sunday of the Bristol Food City night race. And Charles, there's a lot of hype with that. I will say this, though. Do you agree what Kyle Busch said about NASCAR's going backwards when they're racing on dirt? What's your take of what he said whenever he made that comment earlier in the week?
I'll be honest. I didn't see the comment yet, but
But you love dirt.
Yeah, I love dirt, and let's be honest. Sorry, Kyle Busch, if you're out there listening by some chance, anything he says, I don't listen to anyway. I know I've heard the backstory, but the dude's a crybaby. So, you could give him a glass of ice cold milk, and he would complain that it's 2% and not whole milk. So, Kyle's just cry. He loves to cry and complain. So,
those are his words.
Yes, these are my words.
Those are his words, not mine.
And I've heard these people compare, Kyle Busch to Dale Sr., because he'll bump you and beat you and bang you, but
nowhere near.
He's nowhere near. If Kyle gets hit, he cries like a little 2-year-old, and complains to media and stuff like that. Dale Sr. would just come back the next week and just rattle a cage and put you in the wall. So.
Or do it on the same night.
Yeah, you do it on the same night if you could. So they're nowhere near the same. But yeah, I don't take anything Kyle Busch has to say.
Yeah. Well, anyhow, the Bristol race. That's why we got the backdrop. Look at this backdrop here. Look at it. We got the here's unveiling my secrets again. Look at this. Woo-hoo. We have the green screen. We have the backdrop. The Bristol night race.
I got boxes.
You've got a lot of stuff up there.
Let's
yeah,
see
definitely.
If,
you got
on
your
this
control.
side. See, where is it? They got keyboards right there. There's 3 keyboards. A box of crap. That looks like a water cooler. More crap. There's stuff. There's a monitor stand up there somewhere. A box. Monitor. There's stuff.
So listen, we ran a little bit later than we were going to do. Actually, we're going to have a quick show, but I mean, hell, when you get me and Charles on the air and we get our guests and our questions, and obviously we fell behind. We fell behind by like 20 minutes because we missed a segment, and then somebody didn't show up, so we're filling in that time, and then some people had some technical issues. But all in all, though, Charles, I thought it was a good show. I actually was thinking about taking off for Easter, but I'm actually glad I didn't. This is my final per se broadcast soiree activities until the weekend, unless you had me for something with live sim racing TV on Friday, but that's to be announced.
Anyone that doesn't know LSRTV, you should know us, by the way. But if you don't, Fridays are like Monday. You never know what's going to happen, so we count nothing out until Friday's over with. And at that point, we relax for the rest of the week.
Yes. But we're also taking off all of our coverage for the rest of the day. All right, Charles, let's get our music up out of here. Let's get off the air. We went a little longer than we expected to, but it's all good. We love to talk. We can stay here and chat for another, hour if we wanted to, for sure. And who's going to stop us? Who's going to stop us? Charles says he'll hit the disconnect button. So we'll do it again next week. Racing going on throughout the Carolinas. Thanks again to all of our guests. By the way, we'll try to get Dylan Zampa on another day. Dylan Zampa unable to join us tonight. Thanks to Stephen Nassy for being on the program. Thanks to Michael O'Brien. Of course, Stephen Nassy, winner of the Southern Super Series at Five Flags Speedway. Michael O'Brien, winner of the race at Wake County Speedway with the Chargers. Jonathan John Boy Brown, modified winner, Smart Modified Tour powered by Pace-O-Matic in Franklin County. Bowman Gray fires up next week for the Hayes Jewelers 200. We will preview that and so much more. And then, of course, the next race for the Smart Modified Tour, Caraway Speedway, June the 29th. That is on a Wednesday night, by the way. Thanks also to Brad Sievers, Michael Rouse, for Charles Wooten and Wesley Outland, and our rants on Martinsville. The fight. Put them up, dude. You got to fight somebody, take off your damn helmet. Be a man. Put these up and fight it, or try to work it out. And finally, dirt, Bristol dirt. Going to be a fun time. The road to life, there's always a finish line. You might have a bad winding road, but somehow or another reach it. Always follow your goals. Always follow your dreams. Never forget where you come from. I love you all. Be good to one another. Happy Easter. For Charles Wooten, I'm Wesley Outland. Finish line. We'll do it again next Wednesday. Take care.
Hey, it's broadcast personality Wesley Outland, and for the second year in a row, the Community Radio Network is excited to also be the voice of iRacing on LSRTV every Monday and Thursday night with the Northwest Racing Series for Cup and Truck. Join yours truly, Justin Prince and Samuel Dyer, every week as they race towards a championship. We're also on the radio in the Triangle in the Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina area at 87.5 WCRN and anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. Click play. Check out the coverage, the power of radio to the imagination of the listener, esports style. We are the Community Radio Network, the voice of iRacing on LSRTV. Check it out when you can, and replays are always up too.
Let me tell you about MPM. McAllister Precision Marketing. They can assist up-and-coming racers with career advancement, promotion, and assist in sponsorship procurement. MPM also has media and professional etiquette training. They work with premier driver development teams and limited late models to late models. And they also help the teams to make it up to the levels of K&N, ARCA, Truck Series, and even NASCAR Xfinity. Contact Tanya McAllister today at McAllister Precision Marketing, 803-361-6199. Today, get on the board with MPM.
CrateInsider.com is your one source for crate racing tech and more. Whether you currently race with a crate engine or you are thinking about getting into the sport, our website has what you need. CrateInsider.com has tech videos, interviews with experts, and the best products in the industry. Dyno tested and proven, so we know they are the best products for crate engines. Visit CrateInsider.com today to get on the fast track to victory lane.
This episode is an exclusive production solely for the private, non-commercial use of our listening audience. Any publication, reproduction, transmission of the accounts without the express written consent or permission is restricted and prohibited. To hear this replay or other previous podcasts, download on iHeartRadio, iTunes Radio, and TuneIn. As always, this show is for you. Thank you for listening.